Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some CromCon. CromCon.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
we're about to be. All right, good evening, everyone. I don't know if anyone's in here yet, but welcome to our first live stream. This is Matt, and my partner Ron is here, and we are the guys behind Sector-7. So we thought it would be fun to do this live stream, have a little fun with a game that is near and dear to my heart. I still own my original copy, which we won't be playing on that tonight. It was just a lot easier to set up through emulation, but we're going to be playing Godzilla Monster of Monsters for the NES. So without much further ado here, I'm just going to go ahead, and we may have some guests pop in. I've invited some folks, and we're just going to have some fun and see what happens here. So I'm going to go ahead and try this picture-in-a-picture thing. Bear with us. I'm still kind of figuring out some of the nuances of this, but let's go ahead and I'm going to share this window here, and give me just a couple of moments to get this set up, and hopefully we will have. Whoop. Let me go ahead and turn the audio on that down. It's a little loud. Wrong button. One, I do indeed love the music in this game. It is absolutely fantastic. Let's try this. Uh-oh. Audio's a little glitchy.
I'm gonna start having seizures.
Yeah, that was a little glitchy there. Let me see if I can't. Let me see if okay, so it does not like that. Let me see if I can exit. That's bizarre. Plays it just fine when it's out of full screen. Not so much when it's in full screen. Interesting. It does show the screen well there. The only problem is it's so tiny on my screen. I'm going to have a hard time viewing that. Let me see. I'm going to try and lower that volume a little bit more. I thought this would do it, but let's see. Let me see. Sorry, folks. Apologize. Let me see here. Let's see if I can change the volume here. If not, I'll just turn the sound off. Huh. Okay, so that does turn the volume all the way down. There we go. That might be better. Let me know if that's still too loud, but I think we can work with that. Let me see if I can. So it looks like if we widescreen. Oh, wait. Hang on. Hang on.
I think I played this.
Oh, I see. I see what it's doing. All right. Let me see. I'm just going to go to the hardware reset and hopefully we'll... Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, I think I can work with that. So we're going to go with a new game, and this could be a bit of a long haul for us here, guys. We are, I'm planning on beating this whole thing in one shot. Could be a couple hours. In 2XXX AD, the Earth receives a declaration that we need to learn how to read faster. Slower, that too, yeah. A declaration of war from Planet X. Man, those guys are always trying to mess with us.
Planet X?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
The Planet X is the worst.
The worst.
One, for those of you out there, if anyone's watching right now that are, just familiar with the genre, we just saw on the screen the Gotengo from the film Atragon, as well as the Moonlight SY3 that was featured in Destroy All Monsters. Solar System as the battlefield. Bloody combat.
Bloody what?
Bloody combat begins. There's more of the Gotengo in the background. A whole fleet of them, in fact. Begins between space monsters and
soccer moms.
Our guardians. Sorry, guys. I really just want to see this for y'all so you get the full experience. But man, is this a slow crawl. Godzilla and Mothra. Yes.
So Godzilla is who now?
I don't know. Who's Godzilla?
Who's
All right, we're gonna skip
we'll
that.
Figure it out.
The Earth. All right, guys. So if you notice, it is in full screen mode. I don't have my face on the screen now. Maybe we'll try it in a little bit, but I want to make sure that we're not going to lag or have any issues. I'm going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, it's got this kind of weird game board type design, and you can advance the monsters. Godzilla can move 2 spaces, and Mothra moves 4, and then there will be a stage that is side-scrolling you have to fight through. And, of course, we have to beat the monsters before we make it through the base. And there's going to be like 8 worlds, okay? So we're in for a little bit of a haul here. I'm going to go ahead and get started with Godzilla.
I had this. No.
Brittany says, hi, guys.
Brittany, watch.
So Godzilla, as you can see, has a punch move, a kick. He has the tail whack, which is one of my favorites. And he also has his iconic fire breath. And I try to conserve as much of that as I can for a couple of reasons.
You don't want to go blind.
Oh, if you guys look up towards the Earth right now, there is a Super X, which most of you will recognize from Godzilla 1985. And
if you look out the left of the plane, you'll see the Grand Canyon.
Yes, thank you. The Grand Canyon's my favorite.
Which is a big sand pit.
Yes.
It's a big quarry.
So the monster that's approaching us right now is Ghidorah, and he's a giant jerk. So whenever you go up to a monster, it's going to ask you, will you fight the enemy? Yes. And then it asks you a redundant question. Will you fight Ghidorah? Yes. We're not going to be a punk. But first, we got to go through the stage. And if you guys notice, there's a life bar and an energy bar. Mothra's energy weapon is her scales, which in this game just appears as wings. I'm going to drop a bunch of those. I'm not going to only focus on the game. There's another Super X up there flying around, but
Anyone think there's a correlation between how bad the graphics are in old games and how awesome life used to be?
yeah, I don't know. Honestly though, I'm going to just say for an NES game,
this was the shit. I know I have this now.
Yeah.
I mean, I freaking love this game.
Yeah, this game is gorgeous.
It is. This is a well-made
one. Not only is this game visually very appealing. Now, is it perfect? No, it's definitely a slog. It goes on a long time. So if you're planning on sticking with us through the whole thing,
I think the CGI is better than Flash, though.
Oh yeah, the CGI definitely better than the Flash movie, and there's less,
grooming
criminals in it. But sorry, we said no politics. We said no politics.
That's not even political. That's just straight grooming.
Well, yeah,
no one should be okay with that.
You're right. You're right.
It's not a right or left issue. That's just not okay.
I agree that But anyway, Mothra tends to fly through these a little bit, literally fly through these, quite a bit quicker than Godzilla. He's kind of punch his way through everything.
He's got those hips.
Yeah, he's got those hips. So Godzilla can be a little cheap, but he goes down pretty easy. His hitbox is a little weird. He's going to come up here and try to punk me out a little bit. Yep. And that's about the most annoying thing in the game there, guys, is they will pin you in the corner and you literally can't move until they decide to back up. So he can just do that literally indefinitely. And if he tries to get closer, I'm going to hit him with that. See? Mothra also has the most annoying sound when she's getting beat up. We're going to go right back into that battle. It times out after about 40 seconds if you don't defeat the enemy. So there is a time limit. Sometimes they'll even escape and they'll move to the next. Sorry. This guy's super annoying for literally this reason. Got him. There we go. And Mothra just leveled up there, so we get a little more power, a little more health. Mogira came up, wanted to fight me right away. Some of you may be wondering, like, wait a second. I've watched Godzilla movies. I've never heard of these two, Ghidorah and Mogira. Well, join the club. Actually, Mogira, you might know as the robot from Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. However, you'll notice this version looks quite a bit different. That's because it's based on a film called The Mysterians, another Toho film that featured this kaiju mech. And there's actually a sweet spot that I can get into with Mothra where Mogira actually can't hit her. But I'm going to move forward. Nuts. I'm going to try and get Godzilla down there. I really want him to finish Mogira off so he gains the experience. The max level in this game is 16, so we got a little ways to go. But never met a Mogira I liked. Yeah, me neither. Mogiras are just not cool.
That was me. That was my comment.
I know. I see.
That was
might be the only one we get tonight. Who knows?
We got Brittany. Brittany's always good for us.
Yes. Oh, Mogira retreated. So that's unfortunate. It'll actually cost me an early level with Godzilla, but we're just going to keep pushing forward here. So for those of you who aren't familiar with us, my name's Matt Boyce, and I'm here with my buddy and partner, Ron Mozicki, and we are the writer and artist, respectively, and creators and collaborators and all the above. all those C words. Maybe that's not the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are all those things for a comic called Sector-7. And essentially, that's going to feature 7 all-new kaiju. All right. And it's starring our main guy, our big bad, who's our stand-in for Godzilla, but not just a stand-in. He's gonna be different. I think he's really cool in a lot of ways. Is Nagara, and we're gonna have, like I said, 7 new monsters, a great cast of characters. We are live right now on Fund My Comic. So if you're enjoying the stream and you like giant monster stuff, please go to Fund My Comic. Please support us. We've got digital, we've got physical, we've got all kinds of covers. You can get everything from, you can just get a digital copy and give us a read. You can, even just buy us a coffee because you feel like it. Actually, it's not really buy us a coffee. It's
Feed the kaiju, man.
It's feed the kaiju. We got our food bills for these monsters. There's 7 of them. It's intense. So I love the details that they included in this game. Like that monster right there was actually Manda, again from the film Atragon, like the Gotango. Here on this stage, these are actually a monster called Dagora, Dogora, from the film of the same name. And actually in the background is the actual, like, it's a whole bunch of Dagora monsters. And then these were referred to as like Dagora cells, I do believe. And there's 2 different versions of them. This is the only place in the game you'll find the power, the special meter power up. Oddly enough, is from those yellow cells. It's completely useless because by the time you get to them, you don't really need them at that point. But
so there's the moon. So what planet are we on right now?
It's we're on Earth right now. We start off on Earth.
But I see the Earth.
Yeah, we see the Earth. It's really kind of bizarre how the planets are always in the background. I almost want to say we're like on the moons of the planets because the planets are always in the background. Like when you're on Saturn, you see Saturn in the background. It's
really?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a mistake on the developer's part, but it looks cool. I'm fine with it. And I just pretend we're on one of their moons. And if they don't have a moon, we tell science to shut up.
They'll just make one of them.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just give it a moon.
We'll give it a moon.
That's right. There.
God, I remember playing this. This is so crazy. I haven't actually seen this game since I had it, like in what, 6th, 7th grade, maybe. It's been so long.
So, as you guys are probably noticing, like everything makes Mothra like die. So it's really annoying, and there's so much crap flying at.
Yeah, they're throwing a lot of shit at you, dude.
Yeah, they're throwing so much garbage at me right now that I'm actually having trouble using the system is having trouble using my special power because there's so much garbage on screen. Not only is there so much garbage on screen, it's like impossible to actually like not get hit by something. So Mothra is going to advance. And now we're going to get Godzilla to follow. If you guys are out there listening, watching, drop a comment in. We'd love to hear from you. In fact, once we get to the next planet, I'm going to pause for just a moment. I realized I probably should drop the link to our campaign in the comments, just in case someone out there is interested and they'd like to see what we're up to.
We're still not the best at marketing.
We could definitely do a better job, but we're real. We're real.
We're doing anything we know how. We just don't know that much. That's the problem. We're new.
Thank you, Brittany. I'll try to figure out how to. I'm new to StreamYard. I'm not new to social media, but definitely new to StreamYard, and I wanna pin that to the top of the comments though. There's our Degoras again. Excuse me. There's our Moonlight SY3 in the background.
1-2. Jab cross.
Yes, jab.
Jab cross.
Thank you, Brittany. We appreciate you. Boom. All right. Now that we've gotten there, we can advance to the next planet. So almost one down. Only like, I don't know, probably 7 more to go, something like that.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you guys.
Hey,
This is
pure entertainment right here.
Pure entertainment.
This is suspense. One, I just got to keep talking about just how beautiful, like, even though, like, right now, it feels like we're fighting through, like, the Death Star trench or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just super cool. I remember growing up with this. This was one of the first games I owned on the Nintendo Entertainment System. My parents got it for me all the way back in 1989. I remember the store I was in the very first time I saw it. And at like 3 years old, I was a Godzilla fan. So this was just like, I wanted this thing with all my heart. And it took me a little bit to figure out, but it was one of the first games I actually beat growing up. Not the first, that was DuckTales on the NES. But yeah, just super, I was super thrilled with this game. And I still love the music. I still just, it was my first exposure to a lot of the monsters that were in Godzilla lore. Like, I had no idea. This was our pre-internet days. I had never heard of the Mysterians before. I'd never heard of Space Amoeba or Yog Monster from Space. They're both the same name.
You haven't lived until you've heard of Space Amoeba.
Oh, dude, Yog. So it's Yog Monster from Space, aka Space Amoeba, and that actually features 3 kaiju. One of them is Gazora, who's like the squid kaiju you saw, and then it also has Kamebis, which is a turtle kaiju, as well as a crab named Ganymedes. And it's a super cool movie, but I honestly didn't see them until I was almost probably 20 years old. So this was my first exposure to a lot of that stuff, or at least maybe 15, but it was 15, 16-ish. So this was just a real treat to learn about all these monsters I couldn't see on my actual VHS tapes. Hopefully I'm not boring everyone by talking too much out there, but...
Dude, what's a VHS?
Yeah. Well...
What's a tape?
VHS tape, yeah. Mind-blowing how far we've come.
Seriously, direct correlation between the shittiness of entertainment and the amazingness of life.
Right?
And the better the entertainment, the shittier it got in just the world. It's so weird.
Here's actually a reference to yet another Toho film. Now, the Matango weren't giant monsters by any means, but they were featured in the film Matango, and they were essentially it was essentially about this fungus that consumed people and turned them into more fungi. I hear they're pretty fungi to be around.
You wouldn't want a Matango with it.
Yes, you wouldn't want a Matango with them.
I just can't stop the writer in me.
Kaiju puns. Gotta love them. This kaiju that's approaching is Varan. Unlike the other two, which, again, Mogira having appeared in the Mysterians, Gazora from Yog Monster from Space, a.k.a. Space Amoeba, Varan actually is kind of like the unloved child of Toho. He actually starred in a solo film, which was excellent, by the way. If you're a fan of Toho kaiju films, please check that out. The original Japanese version, not the American version. It is heavily edited, poor print quality, and it does not hold a candle to the original. It's not close. It's not endearing like Godzilla King of the Monsters was with Raymond Burr. It is just bad. We put in Myron Healy, and it was just a garbage film. But the original.
I've still never seen King of the Monsters.
You've never seen King?
I've still never seen. That's the second one, right?
No. King of the Monsters is the first one. Raids Again.
First one?
Yeah, the first one. So
okay, so I've seen the first one. I've seen the first one. Was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, there's two versions of the first one. There's the original Japanese version.
I bought the original Japanese at Walmart when they had all the Godzilla movies come out.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, I've got the original. That's the only version I have actually.
So the original Japanese one is much darker than the American one. We just added the American actor Raymond Burr, and replaced a bunch of scenes. Mogira kind of glitches out, guys. He's actually super easy, as you can tell. I mean, I'm having such a hard time with him right now, but he kind of goes really stupid and just doesn't know what to do as long as you keep whacking him in the gut. And he's dead.
He's done?
He's dead. I promise this gets a little harder as time goes on, guys. I'm going to bring Mothra up. The music does get a little repetitive, but it's just so, like, almost every theme in this is a winner.
It's classic NES.
Yeah, it is. It's not only just classic NES, but it's really good. Like, I feel like this is by far, in my opinion, the most underrated soundtrack on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I really do.
I've never compared, to be honest. I don't mind it.
See, I used to run like our Twitter account actually used to be my gaming Twitter.
Yeah.
I used to be a huge retro gamer, had a gigantic collection. I still have a pretty sizable collection, but it's been trimmed down significantly. And just a huge appreciation for gaming as a genre, but not the thing I want to be known for necessarily anymore. And
I wouldn't mind being known for anything decent.
Well, that's true.
I don't want to end up in the papers, but wouldn't mind being known for something.
You don't want to be known as Ezra Miller, is what we're saying.
No, I don't. Yeah. There are lines I don't want to.
Right.
Cross.
Sorry, we went with the Ezra Miller. It's low hanging fruit.
It is. Yeah.
So you'll notice I'm beating up these Matango things, and you're like, why? Because I can just go right past it, but. They actually provide a significant amount of experience. You'll usually level up after beating one or come close to it. The hitbox on them is really weird, though, and Mothra is having a hard time with it. There we go. See, I just leveled up there. Oh, Gazora's going after Godzilla, and that's fine because they're both at the same level. Yeah, eat that. Eat it. Eat it. Back off. And, I thought he was just going to pin me there for a bit. There it goes. So, actually, what makes this game super hard is our final boss, King Ghidorah, does this and does ridiculous amounts of damage. So, there is an element of randomness to it. Do we have anyone waiting in our... actually, I didn't check.
What?
I should check and see if we have anyone waiting in our studio right now. Let's see. No, just us.
It's just us.
It is literally just us. That's okay. We're recording this, and we are gonna post it to our YouTube on the off chance anyone wants to go back and revisit. I know I will.
We're going to take the modern day media approach to our programming. We're going to shove it down your throats until you're forced to watch us.
Yes.
And so you might as well just let it happen.
Comply.
It's easier to just let it happen.
We are Borg. Oh, there's the cheapest enemy in the game. It just missed me completely. But if I die, there's only probably two places it's going to be. It's going to be with that little flaming horseshoe you guys seen fly across the screen a couple minutes ago, or it's going to be the King Ghidorah. More than likely. That thing is evil. So there's two ways to beat it. Either you back all the way up like it did right there to the back of the screen if you have enough time, and that will minimize the amount of damage it will do. Otherwise, he's going to run Godzilla through like knife through hot butter. I was going to say something, but at the risk of being off the cuff, I was like, I didn't trust myself not to be offensive. So, yeah, that one, we definitely want to avoid those guys at all costs. They are literally the cheapest potential one-hit kill in the game. There's two ways to beat it. One is, as I showed you before, I backed all the way up to the back of the screen. The other way is to actually use Godzilla's fire breath, because then his animation cannot be stopped, and you can actually pass forward through that enemy. Getting shot with some moon rockets. You'll notice that looks there it is again. Watch. So if I hit that, I can pass through it, and it will do minimal damage. It won't do no damage, but I can. If you don't have a fire breath in your back pocket, in the later stages, I'm always going to try and keep one, because that can be very problematic. Oh, I'm tail whacking him right in the groin. Look, he's crying out in pain every time I whack him.
I remember that dude. Holy cow, I remember the noise and everything. This is insane.
Right? This is Varan, one of my favorite kaiju.
Bring up any very childhood traumatic memories.
Hey.
No!
There we go. We're at level 5 with Godzilla, cruising right along. All right. So we'll go ahead and advance Godzilla forward since we're pretty close with him anyway. And just about when you're about ready to get sick of the music on a stage, you get to the next one, and then it's like, okay, it's better, you know. And then later on, this game is this game is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to really be in it. I mean, you can save. There's passwords. There's some secrets to this game. For those of you who haven't played this before, if you enter destroy all monsters, it actually starts you off at level 8 on Earth. And then, see, I didn't have my fire back yet, and I almost ate it right there. So it'll start you off at level 8 on Earth, but you have to fight your way through all the monsters, and you don't level up, including King Ghidorah. So it is rather easy to beat them all on the Earth stage, but then I'm not even sure when you start to level up again. I can't remember. So that's one secret about this game. You can actually view the ending, but if you want to know that, you can look it up, because don't be a wuss, just go beat it. If you enter in the name Ghidorah, as it's spelled in this game, you actually get to look at a secret hidden level that was never completed. So that's kind of a cool little Easter egg. You'll have to reset your game because it's nothing but a glitch, but
you'll have to throw your system out the window because it will explode.
It might. Come on. There we go. All right, we are almost there, guys.
Me and Greg were watching South Park last night, and the episode with Cartman is Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God, I freaking love that episode so much.
I'm the dude.
I'm the dude.
I actually remember that one from way back when.
God, I love that episode.
The annoying thing about those things is the hitbox. And that's the only thing that's kind of difficult about this game is a lot of things are really hard to kind of hit in just the right magic spot. I've been playing this game most of my life, so we have children watching. Brittany's out there.
No one watching.
Brittany is out there.
I could do
now.
a pole dance right now. No one would see it.
It's just because
I'll do it for some views.
No, you hear that? Ron will pole dance for views. Everyone,
I am not that desperate.
Call in now.
Call in now.
That you will. This is the deal of a century.
Call in now to stop it.
Please go pledge to Sector-7 on Fund My Comic. Now,
I was bashing Ezra. I don't think he's ever pole danced for anyone before.
Hey, listen. It would still be better than Flashpoint.
It would still be better than Flash.
They brought in Michael Keaton and they couldn't save that.
Isn't that crazy? Even people that said the movie was gonna bomb were shocked at how bad it bombed because of what they were doing with Michael Keaton. And they're like, at least people are gonna go see him. It just wasn't enough. It was good. I love Mike, but I don't love the style. For anyone out there who's on DeviantArt, I can't believe how it almost completely switched to about 80% AI art. It's insane. It's hard actually to find a regular comic art now on DeviantArt. I'm not one to rage about AI art. I don't really give a shit. I mean, I can do stuff too, but it's pretty annoying because DeviantArt has, I got like over 1,000 like favorites because I just love the black and white art on there so much, and it's just all AI art, and then like 90% of the 80% of AI art is all just boobs and butt, anime chicks and Iron Man suits. It's really weird. It's like a AI Comic-Con. It's just
8 fingers on one hand.
Yeah. You know what they don't have at Comic-Con anymore?
What's that?
Comics.
Right. It's pretty much everything but.
It's comic. They don't have comics at Comic-Con
That's because
anymore.
Comic companies don't make comics.
They don't make comics anymore.
Best to make sure. It's like, hey guys, did you pick up the latest issue of
anything?
Yeah, right. Yeah, literally.
Did you pick up the latest anything? No. There's a spider. There's an AI art of Spider-Gwen. Can't stand Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. Especially I'm sorry, but like Spider-Gwen's code name that they use when they feel like it is probably Jacob. What up? We are joined by Jacob Lyngle.
Someone's here?
Yeah, someone's watching. He's in the chat.
Our new best friend.
Dude, it's Kaiju United. They've had our backs from the beginning.
Oh, they're there? Nice.
Yeah.
There's Supergirl and Miss Marvel making out AI art.
AI art of Supergirl and Miss Marvel making out. Of course there is. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Jacob. I apologize. Let me pause this here. Jacob's backstage. Let me go let him in. And we're going to add him right to the stream here.
Nice.
There we go. Oh, I didn't realize my camera was showing. I've been on here picking my nose.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you, buddy.
Yeah, we can. Ron here is to my right.
I'm off screen, but yeah, I'm here.
He's off screen because he's pole dancing. But you missed the Ron pole dancing portion of this.
Oh, I sure missed that.
That's in the OnlyFans section.
Oh, okay.
But there's no one watching us there.
There's
either,
no,
so.
we don't even have OnlyFans, so yeah.
We have OnlyFan because it's literally only one.
OnlyFan. That's fantastic.
So, Jake, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I just had 2 days off of work, so I just kind of chilled out all day. I did a couple things for the site, and I'm just jumping on your stream. I'm going to jump on a group call in an hour or two. It's just kind of a fun call day.
Yeah, absolutely. I just got out of college a little bit ago, finishing up my master's degree, and yeah, we went straight into this. So thanks for joining us. I know it was super short notice. I did also send out invites to a couple other folks. We'll see. Again, it was on me, super short notice. So if no one else shows up, it is definitely not their fault.
It's all good.
It's all
but I'm here. I showed up.
Yes, we know. And yeah, you're awesome. We appreciate you. We appreciate the guys from Mazer Squad, Paul at AGE Comics. Matt Frank he's shared us out and been super supportive. So we're just grateful for all those folks. And if you guys if anyone does wait backstage, just shoot me a message and I will let you in, because I can't. Actually, I probably could move that screen over so I could see, because I'm only playing on about half my laptop screen right now. There's a lot of downtime in this game. You guys will notice it's kind of a slog. There's a lot of these stages, and they, for better or worse, it's a long game, which was great back in the 80s. You felt like you got your money's worth, but it is a little monotonous. So we're just going to talk and have fun.
Did you see they picked the new Superman and Lois?
I did see that. I'm pretty excited. I did like the casting choice for Clark, and then I'm sure Lois will be fine.
Perfect. Lois looks great. I never liked Amy Adams at all as Lois,
or just as no. I'm just kidding. I don't mind Amy Adams.
She's actually a hell of an actress. I've seen her in so many different movies.
And Amy Adams is a really great actress.
Yeah,
other stuff.
And that was the only movie where she was unwatchable. So I actually blame the director, because if you've seen enough Zack Snyder films, the dialogue is always really, it always feels very planned out and very he not only tells you what to say, but exactly how he wants it said. So the dialogue never feels like they're actually talking. And Amy Adams I couldn't even listen to her. She was awful. And then every other movie, she's amazing. So it's not her.
Yeah, notice.
Is it the writers?
No, it's not even the writers. I mean,
it's the direction and how they're conveying the performance.
Dialogue has nothing to do with the writers. It's literally because it is pretty much in almost all his movies. It's people say. Like I said, there are directing styles, and some directors are some directors who have acted are usually the best kind of directors because they understand actors.
They get it. Yeah.
And if I feel like he literally has a certain cadence or way he wants things said, and it always feels overly dramatic and overly serious, which is pretty much how he directs his films, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was. I mean, and I'm super biased here because it's one of my favorite comics and comic book movies of all time. But I thought in Watchmen that was great. His job on that.
You know what? Watchmen, I didn't like the first time, and I liked it the second time, and then the third time I loved it. But I could literally pick out scenes for you where the dialogue was very, very stilted. It was very stilted. It wasn't natural flow. They were literally reading their lines in a specific manner. And it always feels off. It feels wrong.
Silk Spectre in particular, I feel like, and it's weird because it does seem to tend to be the females that tend to come off more.
I don't get it.
Stiff and wooden for him.
Yeah, I don't get it. And like I tell you what, like the Wachowski sisters now, they kind of do the same thing. The only movie that was really good was the first Matrix movie, and then the dialogue after that. In that one, it worked. And then the second and third one, I don't even count the fourth one. Like you could tell, they're just more interested. Lucas, I guess it's visual directors. I guess
that's a good comparison because like Snyder is a very visual director. Like
I think so. I think
they're
more
the shots. Like I hate. Hate's a strong word. I'm not a fan of Batman v Superman, but some of the shots in the movie are really great. Like all the people touching Superman like he's God or some shit during like Dia de los Muertos. Like that shot's really great. Or the shot of him and Man of Steel coming out of the fortress, just walking.
Yep. Oh, dude, that's one of my. Everyone around me calls them my random action scenes. So I'll just put on random scenes that I love. That one is almost my go-to every time. I mean, so it doesn't get more beautiful than that scene.
Yeah, I really think what you said with like visual directors is exactly it. Because like, I don't know, if you go on like Letterboxd, I don't know if you guys use Letterboxd. It's like you keep a film diary, you make film lists, you can log reviews. Most people on Letterboxd freaking love the Wachowskis' Speed Racer movie. It's really interesting. Like,
I will tell you this, because I've never seen the cartoon. I mean, I'm old enough I know the cartoon, but I never watched it. And I was actually surprised at how. Okay, this is weird. I really liked it the first time I saw it, so I actually bought a copy, and I don't think I've ever watched it again though. So I don't really know. I don't really know where to put that movie.
That's fair, but like, I mean, I'm not really a Snyder fan that much. I like 300 just because it's crazy.
By far his best film, that 300.
I think so. I think 300 is his best film. I haven't seen a zombie movie he did for Netflix with Batista.
Oh, it was laughable. Dude, actually, do yourself a favor. Watch it with a few buddies and just have a good time. It is so bad. Because he can't write. Like, the dude cannot write. And there were plot holes that were hilarious. So I understand the visual, like, Sucker Punch. Holy cow, like get the director's cut of Sucker Punch. The action scenes are even longer. It's amazing. But I only watch the action scenes. Like because he's a visual guy, but he's not a storyteller. He's really not a storyteller. Not in a classic sense, I would say.
Yeah. But I did like the Snyder cut, shockingly. I thought it was pretty good.
Of the Justice League?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Justice League.
It was better. It was now, again, to me, like, I don't, what's weird? Maybe you might, like, agree or know what I'm talking about. I don't mind movies that take themselves seriously. Like, if, like, The Batman with Robert Pattinson took itself seriously, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But
I really
Zack Snyder does it in a way where it takes it so seriously, it crosses this line to where it's like, dude, relax. You can have a little bit of fun. It's okay.
See, I really did feel like Watchmen kind of rode that line really well.
Yeah, but that's because he didn't write it. It wasn't his.
Oh, right. Okay. I agree.
Zack Snyder can take someone else's work and make it beautiful. He can do that. But he cannot work with original stuff. He's just not good enough as a storyteller.
Yeah. I mean, oh man.
And if you don't know something, well, go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're good. I was just going to reply to your earlier discussion about newer comics, and I was going to bring up how freaking awesome the Immortal Hulk was. Like, I'm a giant Hulk fanatic, and that was probably one of the best modern runs I've ever read.
Did Alex Ross do the covers to those?
Yes.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I go on a site called Read Comics Online, and I've started reading that a few times, and I was impressed. And I just keep forgetting to like finish the run. It's really good. It like goes through really well.
Yeah, I think it's really great, and it's probably the best Hulk since Peter David, man. Like it's been that long, in my opinion.
Hulk is apparently a really hard character to write.
Yeah, but it's like I mean, you've read some of it. It's like a horror Hulk comic, like an EC Comics Hulk, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
even the artwork was really good. Like I said, I read a few issues and I liked it, but I have like on my tablet, I've consistently got like 8 different tabs open, all on the same site, all different books, and then I just like I have like ADD when it comes to reading comics.
Totally.
I can't sit there and read like 25 straight issues of one book. I actually think reading comics gave me a little bit of ADD when it comes to reading.
I'm that way with TV shows. I can't. If I look at it and I go, "Oh, this show has 10 seasons and 500 episodes," I'm just like, I can't commit to that.
I can't commit. I know. I've got goals. I can't do this.
It's like you're getting married to a television show. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Like, and I even struggle with some of like I love Tokusatsu to death, like the Ultramans, the Kamen Riders, and the Super Sentais. But even then, each show is like 50 episodes. I'm like, oh, dude, that's gonna take so long to finish.
I will say that I have so exactly what you're talking about. I have trouble with anime because I start an anime show just to see if I like it or not. If it's got good animation, a decent enough story, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I just can't commit to. I can't commit to even 12 episodes. It takes me. I got 3 kids too, and I'm illustrating 2 books, and I got a lot of shit to do. But I would like to finish a few seasons of something, and it takes me forever, dude.
I feel it. Like the original Kamen Rider is 99 episodes, and I'm like, oh, I'm on episode 9.
Oh my god! Wow.
90 more.
Wow.
Yeah, and I always feel this pull. Like I love watching kaiju stuff, and there's always this like, oh, do I revisit something I've watched a million times? Do I watch something new? Do I watch something, mainstream?
See, that's where my OCD starts to trigger. I can't make a decision. I can't. If I watch something old, I know I love it. If I watch something new, I might waste my time. And I don't have time. I'm a dad. And then I just keep going over and over.
I try and watch new things that I'm pretty sure I'll like. Like, I like horror movies. I like Italian horror movies. I like French movies. I like Swedish movies. And I like kaiju. And I like kung fu movies. So if it's one of that label, kind of things, I'm probably gonna like it. So like I'm like, oh, it's a kung fu movie. Okay, I might like it. But if I go ahead.
Me and my wife, speaking of horror movies, like we've noticed that like basically like Spanish, Korean, and Japanese have the freakiest horror movies. Like, they do it much differently than American. And Americans got some good ones too, but like because we go on Netflix and we're like, okay, let's just try it. And we're at the point now where we kind of get excited when it's Spanish. We're like, okay, these guys know how to do demons. These guys know how to do hauntings. It's weird. I don't
have Netflix. I just personally didn't really find anything on there that was worth paying for.
Seinfeld. We literally pay for it for Seinfeld. That's it.
Fair enough.
It's weird. I am the weird guy in the room, and people can shower me with hate, but I can't stand Seinfeld. I try.
I know you can't. It's going to be a love or hate. You kind of don't.
I was gonna make a joke and say Ron is a guy that would be on Seinfeld, but
oh yeah, no. My friends used to. I mean, okay. I used to be extremely neurotic, very neurotic. My friends used to call me George. Like, I was freaking George. I was a fucking mess. And yeah, absolutely. And back
I don't
then,
mean it like that. I just mean like you sound like a dude from like New York and that kind of stuff.
oh yeah,
We
no,
definitely are. I mean,
definitely Western New York. Well, Western New York.
yeah. Yep.
All in good fun, though. All in good fun.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, of course. You can pick on us. We got this.
But no, I'm not on here to punch you guys down. I'm here to have a good time.
No, you're fine.
No, like so Netflix we have for Seinfeld, Disney we have for The Simpsons, and HBO Max we have for like South Park and home movies. I love home movies. I love that show.
I got mad. There's several things that got me mad at Netflix, but one of which was them basically using the fans to fund, a couple seasons of Mystery Science Theater and then canceling it because they cancel everything. But yeah, I was like saying, hey, the fans paid for a lot of that, and then you don't even give us a little bit more. Like, come on. So I was really upset about that. And other than like Pacific Rim and the Godzilla animes and stuff like that, I really have no reason to keep it. So
yeah, that's kind of what happened with me. Once I saw Singular Point, I was like, okay, cool, I can deactivate it again.
Right, yeah. And honestly, finding a bootleg Blu-ray of that is probably cheaper in the long run.
Right. I have HBO Max because it has Turner Classic Movies on there. I like classic cinema. It's got a lot of Godzilla on there. It's got pretty decent movie selection. I have the Criterion channel for all the world cinema. They just put all the Elvis movies on there, so I'm going to burn through those.
Oh, HBO Max had a bunch of those for a while.
And then I have Shudder for all the horror, and Shudder.
There you go. Yep.
I love Shudder.
So
Shudder, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say Shudder's cheap. Like when I first got it, it was $4.99 a month. It may have gone up a couple bucks, but that's it.
Nice.
Shudder
right.
cheap.
Yeah. Right now, I got rid of Netflix. I really I do have Disney Plus still. I'm just checking our room, make sure we have no one in waiting. I'm gonna pop that on the side here while we're playing. But yeah, I like Tubi. Tubi's got a ton of
Tubi is the go, dude.
Yeah,
Tubi has all the Godzilla, all the Ultraman released here, a bunch of the Kamen Rider.
Yep, Super Sentai. It's got all the what's the name? SRS Cinema, like those super obscure, Blu-rays and DVDs they've been coming out with the past few years. Like
it's got a couple of if you're a wrestling fan, it's got a bunch of the El Santo movies, that luchador wrestler from Mexico that was like the Mexican Superman. Yeah, and then he became a movie star.
Yep, I like those just because of the connection to Mystery Science Theater and that kind of stuff. So I enjoy those. Like Tubi is just, it has the Weird Al show. I don't know if anyone remembers the Weird Al show.
I remember the Weird Al show.
I freaking love the Weird Al show. So many good shows.
That newest kaiju film from Thailand, The Lake, that I spoke with the director about on the site, is on there now.
Nice.
His other film, The Maid, is on there. It's pretty good. Twist and turn kind of thriller movie. Who Killed the Maid?
Who did kill the maid?
The butler. You have to watch it and find out.
I thought it was Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard in the kitchen with the wrench.
Yes.
I thought it was Ezra Miller.
Might have been Ezra Miller. Sorry, we kind of have a running gag going on Ezra Miller. And at first I thought it was too controversial. And then Ron pointed out that, grooming and stuff like that shouldn't be controversial.
It's not controversial.
Right? Yeah, no, it's like...
Neither is assaulting
Universally.
people in public.
That's
Universally
that's pretty
condemned.
universal, yeah.
Yeah, Ezra's on the shit list for everybody. Like most
Good.
people didn't see the Flash because of Ezra.
Yep, I refuse to support it, so glad I'm not the only one. It gives me hope.
I'm just sad because the Flash underperformed apparently so hard that they canceled their plans to do Michael Keaton and Batman Beyond after introducing him in this movie, which is just a
they're
bummer.
blaming it on comic book. It was a comic book movie and they're failing. No, you literally put. I want to be careful how hard I go.
They know what they're.
They know what. They know
They're
why it didn't succeed. It's ridiculous.
comic book people will watch anything cool forever. It's never enough for us. Never enough.
Right.
So, it's not bad.
One, can I just appreciate this landscape for just a minute? I love the scenery. Like those flying saucers are from Invasion of the Astro Monster. Again, you've got the satellite missiles like from Godzilla 1985. This ruined city just comes to life and starts trying to wreck Godzilla. Like, I mean, how cool are some of these scenes? I want to see some in an actual Godzilla film. And once again, we're on Jupiter, but we see Jupiter in the background.
They're putting the name of the book you're reading on the top of every page.
Right?
I know where I am.
Godzilla Power Life.
Still looks cool. But yeah, so I don't know. Did you ever have any experience with this game at all, Jacob?
I've played it once or twice, maybe 3 at the most at G-Fest in the arcade room. They have it like every Godzilla game they can possibly get.
Nice.
I played it a few times, but it's just kind of I was a kid when the Pipeworks trilogy came out, so that's kind of my bread and butter.
Hey, I love them. No hate against them at all. This is my childhood. A little bit older, of course, but this was just so much fun when I was growing up. And I don't know if anyone caught a little bit ago, I used my fire breath and it didn't take out one of these tri-cannons. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about the hitboxes being ridiculously specific. But this game is a bit of a slog, but I thought it'd be fun. It'd give us a lot of opportunity to just hang out and talk about what's on the screen here. I'm just trying to see if anyone's popping in to our stream from elsewhere. I sent a few links out. Don't know if we'll get any more surprise guests, but we're thankful you're here, Jacob. Definitely made a very lively discussion. Loved it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Even if I don't know, like I told you, I don't know very much about this game. I know it exists. I know it was on the NES, and I know it's like you said, kind of repetitive, but I don't know. I like that people are fond of it.
I love there's so many cool. I told everyone earlier that thing is one of the cheapest enemies in the game, and we just saw me get caught out. I've actually got to hurt. Oh man, I might be in trouble here. Come on, I'm gonna die. Yep, that thing took me out. Oh, I'm so mad. I couldn't get to that power up in time. So now the trick is, and I'm not concerned, I have to advance to the next board with Mothra in order to get Godzilla back. And he'll be down a level or two. So I'll have to gain those levels back with him. But that's all right. We'll manage. I hate those things. You get caught once and if it's not a one-shot kill, you're in deep trouble. But anyway, regardless, as I was saying, I love the details in the background. Like you saw the Super X enemies. They have the Moonlight SY3 from Destroy All Monsters. They have, Gotango from Atragon. Manda appears as a regular enemy. there's just so many cool nods. Dagora shows up in the background, several, and then you have the obscure monsters like Gazora and Mogira and Varen in it, and it makes for a really fun experience. That was my first exposure to a lot of these guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Up in the top there's a Gotango flying by right now. But I pointed that out once or twice, but I figure since you're here now, maybe you haven't had a moment to look at. I just really appreciate those details. But anyway, so once again, if anyone, I don't think too many are on, but if anyone's on and listening later on, the Brittany put the link in the chat for us to our Fund My Comic campaign. We are trying to promote and release a kaiju comic called Sector-7, and that is going to feature 7 unique kaiju. We think everyone's really going to love it, but we need everyone's support in order to make it happen. So please shoot over to that link. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us at Inside Sector 7 on both, and you'll be able to find this video on our YouTube account after we are done recording. So what else you got going on, Jacob? Any new kaiju? What are you excited about in the kaiju world this week?
This week, I'm just getting ready for G-Fest mostly. I just recorded an interview with Dane G. Kroll, who wrote Realm of Gorio, the book series, so that'll be fun. That's coming out next week. Otherwise, I'm just kind of taking it a little bit easier on the site and just kind of talking to folks, and I'll be going to these conventions in July and August, and that's about it. Not
Nice.
too much.
Hey, that sounds like a pretty good time, though. G-Fest is definitely something to be celebrating. I've oddly enough never been. It's something I've always wanted to go to, but never. The moon and stars have never aligned for me in that way, and I'd love to go have that experience at some point.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I was asked during a panel at my hometown convention, FanX, Salt Lake City, which of the conventions they should go to, because that was the year All Monsters Attack started, and then we have G-Fest. By the way, I just shared the live stream in the Kaiju United group. I'm sure that'll
Awesome.
help.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
I was like, hey guys, I'm on this. But and I basically said, like, G-Fest has a bunch of stuff going on. So if you're there for the people and meeting the people, I mean, they have a model room with, like, sculpted models. They have movies playing 24/7. They have a costume contest, a gaming room where you can just play whatever video game you want with Godzilla. And then, like, AMA is a lot more guest focused. So if you're there for the autographs and stuff, that's your jam, then you'll have a good time there.
For sure.
Hi, Matt Frank.
Wait, Matt's in the room?
Well, he says howdy. Yeah, he says howdy.
Oh, he says howdy. Where? I don't see him.
Oh, you're in the studio. Hello, Matt. I can see if he's in the back room.
Oh, there he is. I got to add him to the screen. Whoop, add the stream. There we go.
Hey,
Matt.
Frank is joining us.
Frank,
Welcome.
hey, can y'all,
Oh, yeah.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great.
We hear you great.
The legend himself.
Wow.
We are in the presence of royalty here. So thank you very much for taking the time to come out tonight.
Don't give me too big of a head there, guys, but thank you. I'm just here. I was here working. I had extremely late lunch, and then I was like, "Can I curse on this live stream?" I can't. Really
Sure.
curse.
Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Then I was like, just kind of sitting there and was just kind of working. Like, oh shit, that's right. The live stream, but God, I love this game. I have so many fond memories of this game from when I was a wee little chitlin.
Me too. I still own my original cartridge from 1989. which dates me a little bit. But,
I mean, my my family used to take me to the Blockbuster in San Antonio, and I would just rent this cartridge over and over again. So, you know, as long as we're dating ourselves.
Hey, I remember the very first time I saw the second Godzilla game on NES, which is unfortunately nowhere near as fun for me. I was really disappointed when I actually played it, but I do own a copy still. But I remember that was at a old video store called Video Factory here in Western New York.
Yes.
And
Nice.
they had a cool poster up for it. The art on that box was phenomenal. And then I was disappointed to realize it was nothing like this one. But
that was the Arai, the Noriyoshi Arai artwork, right? For Godzilla 84.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Because, standing over the city. Absolutely.
Which is just wildly not representative of the game whatsoever.
No.
It's just,
I can't tell you how excited I was when I saw the box, and then to play that game was a letdown.
Yeah.
But isn't that indicative of like the games of that time? Like I just like Mega Man comes to mind for me, and the box art on the original Mega Man. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
yes.
it looks nothing
Oh my
like Mega
goodness.
Man.
Yes, Mega Man 2 even was similar.
Actually, they all had really, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them had really nice painted box art.
Yes.
Like even Contra, which was an awesome game in and of itself, but the box art, it was painted. It was really nice looking.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, at the time, it kind of was like took for granted that you can, because the graphics at the time were really limited in scope and what they could represent. So your imagination had to fill in a lot of the gaps. And sometimes you get the original Mega Man, and then other times you get something really dope. Like I'm trying to think of some good examples.
I think he said Contra was an okay example, but I think that was like not Schwarzenegger and not Rambo.
No.
Yeah, there's you got your Contras, you got your that's not correct. You got your Contras, you got your old Zelda box art too, which is just like, oh, this is like you have like I think the original Zelda cartridge was this lovingly rendered sword on the box. And
yes.
It's very simple, but it gives you an idea of like, oh, it's this epic fantasy adventure, and then you load it up, and no dispersions. It's a great game. They're great games, but you load it up, and it's like this little dude.
Yes.
He's like, and his face is like, when he raises his sword.
Yeah.
I got one. Castlevania, the original Castlevania box art is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
There we go. I'm swearing on the stream.
That's all right. We'll forgive you. Josh Holloway is in the chat, and he says, "What's up?" Hi, Josh. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We
Josh
appreciate
Holloway
it.
is awesome.
And I got to find a way to pin a post in this thing. I know it's possible. I should have done that beforehand. That's poor preparation on my part. But for those of you who don't know, Ron and I are together in the same room. You can only see me at the moment because I'm prettier. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
You're
yes,
playing the game. I mean, this is your thing.
And for those who don't know, we are promoting a kaiju themed comic called Sector-7. It is going to feature 7 new original giant monsters. So, hi, Jonathan Hernandez. It says, "Whoa, it's some men with luscious hair." He's definitely not talking about me.
I don't think Matthew's got luscious hair.
Yeah, yeah, you guys are definitely rocking the luscious hair. Me, not so much. But
I could donate some to you, don't worry.
Brittany earlier put the link in the chat. Actually, I don't know, Ron, can you get on that computer and go to our Facebook and drop the link in the chat again? Just in case anyone feels the need to check out our campaign. If anyone is curious, they can check us out.
I was gonna say I really do like the vibe of the artwork y'all are going for. It has it has like this. How do I put this? It kind of has like an early Image vibe to it. Like I like that thick black lines and lots of cool cross hatching and stuff. So I dig it.
Yeah. Yes, Image is, I think, if I may speak for you a little bit, Ron, one of your bigger influences,
that
right?
was the most exciting time for me. That's when I started collecting. I mean, it was before Image, but I was at the proper age at the proper time to hit that perfectly. And it was just amazing. It was amazing.
I remember you talked about that when you sat down for our site interview. You just went into like Image Comics, the 90s era. And then you had that awesome Bane creator story about the creator of Bane from Batman.
Oh, yeah, Graham Nolan.
He had me in his studio. He lives in Western New York.
It's really cool.
Very cool. I got some stuff autographed. It was really cool.
And
I really liked, from what I've seen so far, that one panel when they're on the moon and then the Earth gets nuked. That's just such a poignant panel. Probably my favorite so far.
I remember, I think I pitched that panel to Ron the first day we met.
Yeah, you did.
That scene.
You did.
And I described it to him. And the day we met was actually because of this. I work in education now, but I'm an English teacher. But Ron, the first day we met I was managing the print shop at an Office Max. And he brings in this gorgeous art. And I'm like, hey, I got this idea for a comic. Would you like to get together and talk about it? And this is like 2011-ish.
Oh, dude, it's gone by so fast.
It was
a while ago. Years.
And I'd already been sitting on the idea for, a long time. And we got together. We fleshed it out in new ways. And
one day.
And one day we really had.
Most of it was co-created the first time I ever came to Matt's house.
Yep.
And he only lived like probably 4 blocks away from me.
The whole time, yeah.
Yep.
And no, we love that scene. We've got a couple other scenes that were also derived that first day that I think people are really going to enjoy. But that moon scene is one of my favorites. I just thought it was so.
It was a really good. I mean, it was a really good idea. It was a really good idea, and it was easy to illustrate because it was such an emotionally impactful idea that I didn't have to think about it too much. You know what I mean? It was really cool.
Yeah, just really devastating moment. So thank you, Jacob. We appreciate that very much. We thought it was really cool.
Oh, no, of course. It was just one of my favorite moments. I mean, I even just liked how you guys drew the cars pre-apocalypse, but I just kind of like that old kind of, I mean, it almost looks Atomic Age, but Matt pointed out it's a little more artistically like 90s Image. So I like that blend because it kind of feels Atomic Agey in the timeline it's set in, but with the stylistic art of the 90s.
I feel so fortunate to work with Ron because he really created something unique with the visual style. Like I could describe things and the vibe I was going for, and I feel like I did that better with the characters and the monsters. But when it came to the world, I kind of told him the story of the world, and then he created the visual of the world, and he just did an amazing job of it.
Man, side note here, I forget how many monsters are in this game. Like the roster is really stacked for such an early Godzilla game.
And
Veron's here.
I've mentioned a couple of times tonight that this was my first exposure to. I knew Varan was a kaiju because of this game, so that was kind of cool early on.
Yeah, I had a similar experience when I rented the game as a kid. I was looking through. Actually, I think it was when my parents purchased it for me because it was one of the few NES games I actually owned. And I remembered flipping through the little manual and seeing all the monsters and thinking, like, what's a Gigan?
Right.
Oh, dude, he's my favorite. Daigen's my favorite.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's
And
got
I
the
love this
coolest
stage.
design.
Oh yeah, at this stage there, that's a Matango stage. I thought that was a nice little reference. It's
Yes.
because it's not just the monsters, the boss monsters that are Toho inspired. Like a lot of stuff. Like I think this stage is like a reference to Sayonara Jupiter or something. And there's the Super X up there in the top.
The saucers, I think, are from Astro Monster.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Or very similar.
I think they're straight up. Like they even have the little windows and everything. They
I
definitely
think,
have the color
I think Matt's right. They look just like them.
Yeah.
It-
Matt, you're absolutely right. I was commenting. That was actually how before we had some other folks in here, I was kind of just started off the video just talking about how many cool references are in the background. Dagora is in like one stage. Just so many cool little nods to other Toho properties. It really was a passion project, I feel like, for these folks. Like they really put a lot of effort into it.
I feel like it's something that I would love to interview the people who like developed this game, who worked on it, because I have somewhere over here, I have the soundtrack CD for Super Godzilla for the SNES.
Awesome.
And
Oh my god, that's
it's
crazy.
very cool, but it's what the hell is it? It's very cool, but it's and of course it's all in Japanese, but it came out like just a few years ago. Like it's fairly new. You can kind of see it there. And it's even got the little continue screen on the back of the CD with Godzilla's face and everything. But
awesome.
Apparently there's an interview in the booklet of this that was translated, I think, on Toho Kingdom, and it's with one of the interviews with one of like the chief programmers or the directors or something, and it's just like he's talking about it in a very candid way where he's like, yeah, we were trying some new stuff and it didn't really work out, but oh well. They're just kind of like,
So Baragon's kind of talking over you a little bit here, but no, I completely agree. I had Super Godzilla as well growing up. Definitely better than Godzilla 2, but still kind of a mixed bag as far as the kaiju games go. Although I have to love it at least a little bit for having the appearance of Bagan in it, so that's always cool.
Well, and I mean, isn't it strange? Maybe not strange. It's just interesting that a monster from a random video game, and I don't remember when it came out, but in like the 90s, has such popularity even to this day. You still have fans clamoring for Bagan's appearance in other media as well.
Yeah,
they just did that Godzilla thing where they put Bagan in. They made a big like puppet.
Yes.
So he could fight Mothra.
Yes. And it looks amazing. That puppet looks absolutely incredible. And
good soundtrack too. You're talking about the soundtrack. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matt. But
no, it's okay.
It's okay.
But like even the soundtrack, like that Bagan theme. I think it's Bagan. Correct me if I'm wrong. But just the final boss theme is one of my all-time favorite final boss themes, even if I don't really care for the game itself, which is really strange.
Absolutely. I just want to acknowledge Christian Dean Melendez in our chat. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, buddy.
We really appreciate you. I totally agree. This game's soundtrack is totally fire. I said earlier on in the stream that I believe it's one of the most underrated.
Underrated.
Excuse me, I misspoke. Underrated soundtracks. Yes.
That's why I'm on the side.
You're my editor as I'm deep in thought. But I think it's one of the most underrated soundtracks on the NES, actually.
Man, and for how many soundtracks, I'm a vinyl guy, like records. For how many soundtracks they're putting out right now, they should put this one out. I'm sure it would be like a Wright's Nightmare or something, but there's a CD in Matt's hands, so it can be done.
You know, it's funny. The Japanese version actually has the Godzilla March, the actual theme for the title screen, but this one it does not have that. But it's I love the title screen music in this game. Even it's incredible.
It's so odd whenever that happens. Whenever it's like music gets changed for stuff, and I imagine sometimes it's a rights thing, and other times, like with the original King Kong versus Godzilla, they just, for the American version, they just ripped out a bunch of Ifukube's music and put in like stock music from like Creature from the Black Lagoon and stuff. And I'm like, why did you do that?
Let's just put some music in from the Wolfman. I think moviegoers like that more.
It's so, I mean, I guess they thought it sounded more monster movie-y.
That could be it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I agree, Christian. So many themes in this game are just incredible. Oh, Baragon retreated on me. Darn it. I wanted that EXP.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well.
I highly doubt when something in a movie gets ruined, it's a creative's decision. It's usually a producer's decision who have zero creative bones in their body usually. You're lucky if you get a creative producer. Very lucky, and they're few and far between.
Yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on, you know, the people involved and what they're, you know, getting out of the experience. Because, you know, that's why I always kind of giggle whenever I see a movie say, like, from the producers of, it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And I mean, it is true. Some producers are creative people. They like, I mean, I've worked with producers, people who are on that side of things, who are like, they genuinely do care. It's not their lives. Like, they're not like super fans, but they're like, oh yeah, let's make this happen. Or, you know,
They at
like,
least
oh,
want it to be good.
Yeah, they want it to be good because if it's good, it'll probably mean it'll make money. So, you know, there's lots of sides to it.
And Martin Silva is also joining us in the chat. Once again,
hi, Martin.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Once again, guys, if you're interested in checking out the campaign for Sector-7, it is our new Kaiju comic project. Please scroll up a little bit in the chat. I'll have Ron drop the link in again.
I'll drop it again.
But yeah, creepypasta vibes. What was it? Actually, Christian,
you had the NES Godzilla creepypasta that was super popular like 10 years ago or something like that.
I heard they were developing a ROM for it at one point, but I don't think it ever was completed. I think it's probably abandoned at this point. But
I'll find out real quick.
Also, Christian, you are correct. This game actually did have sprites in the code for Baragon and Anguirus. I know some people hacked it and made a Anguirus playable. Usually crashes, and he has no attack animations. He simply walks into things.
I'm so glad Christian's in the chat. He loves this game, and he's younger than me, so it's really cool to see young people really attached to this game. Even if it's like, I didn't want to call it old because all you guys would be like,
it's old.
Say it, Jacob.
Yeah, there's no way around that anymore.
Yep, it is what it is.
But yeah, it looks like there is a ROM on Game Jolt. Let's see. Yeah, there's a ROM for it, for the creepypasta.
Neat.
So
maybe we'll have to do a let's play of that at some point.
Download if you dare.
Oh man, I'm so glad you all are joining us. I know this is kind of a slog of a game, but it gave us a lot of time to fill. So this is cool. This is fun.
I'm happy sharing it in the group. Kind of got some people in too. That was awesome. A lot of familiar faces for me.
I put it out on. I went ahead and put it out on my Twitter and my Facebook too.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I really like. I appreciate that y'all are trying to do, you know, an original kaiju thing, and I mean, I am too. And so, you know, how's the phrase go? You know, we got to lift each other up, especially because it's so easy to kind of get stuck in the cycle of the same franchises just getting redone over and over again, which isn't like I never thought I'd see this much, not just this much Godzilla stuff, but this much kaiju stuff in general. I thought I would be dead before I saw like so much kaiju material coming out.
Right. It really is incredible.
Yeah, I was saying that too. I just have been bringing up how many original kaiju comics are just starting to explode right now, which is awesome to see. You got you got Tyler doing Colossal Conqueror just for free for all you guys to just read. You got you guys doing Sector-7. You got
Paul.
Frankie over here doing Kaijus and Cowboys. The hybrid Western.
Frankie B. Washington. I've talked to him and Matt. Love those guys. Paul at AGE Comics doing Fall of Man, which Paul's been super good to us as well. Like just having our backs and everything. Matt, your project, your original Kaiju project looks awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Speaking of that,
thank you.
If you want to plug, please do.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm really surprised at the response because I hit 30,000 followers on Twitter, so I decided, screw it, I'll just share some stuff from the new comic, and it's something that's kind of been in the works for like, God, it's a coalition. It's a conglomeration of like 12 different ideas I've had over the course of like 10 years. And I was like, I got one place I can put them all, and that's State of the Monsters. That's the, it's I don't know if y'all want me to give like the elevator pitch of what the actual story is.
Do it.
Be our guest, yeah, please.
Of course.
Yeah, do it.
I appreciate it. Well, y'all are getting the scoop then, I guess.
There we go. Nice.
The short version is so what happens is kaiju show up in Texas, which is a landmass that's, I think, altogether larger than Japan itself. I mean, that's where I live, and it's just so freaking big. And the thing is that the kaiju like it there. It's big, there's lots of space, and they just kind of dig in. So eventually things get so bad, and the government cannot get them out, so they just put up a wall. They just box everything in and say, we'll deal with that later. The problem is there are a lot of people still stuck in Texas. And so now jump ahead a period of time. And it's about sort of these new sort of almost mini societies that have popped up that kind of live among the kaiju and kind of have to exist with them. So it's not strictly post-apocalyptic, but it's kind of like a what-if scenario. And like I said, given that I'm from Texas, I have a lot to say. So it gives me an opportunity to. I'm going to try not to be on my soapbox too much, but there's lots of juicy narratives to pull out of that.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we're
cool.
excited.
Very cool.
I can't wait to see it. I love all my life. There can never be enough giant monster content, and I was super excited to see that drop. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We just I just love this fandom. Like, going all the way back to the Kaiju File days and hanging out on those boards on Toho Kingdom. I've been a part of this for so long. A few years back, wrote for Screonk, John Bumpus's site there. It doesn't look like he's updating anymore. And John, if you ever happen to hear this, I miss you, buddy. And that I'd love to catch up sometime. But it's been a wild ride over the past couple of decades, and it just seems like we're getting more stuff than ever.
Best time to be a fan.
Absolutely. If you're a kid or if you're under the age of 20 now, man, it is such a huge opportunity and a great time to be a fan, because man, I remember still hunting and pecking for VHSs in department stores, hoping I'd find something I didn't know about, because the internet wasn't really a thing yet.
Yeah, it's exactly how it was for me too. You don't know what you don't know what you're gonna stumble across. Like, I remembered I kind of avoided renting Godzilla versus Biollante when I was a kid, because I thought it looked too scary. Well, because that cover, that Arai cover, is so intense.
Oh, it is still one of my favorite pieces of art.
Super awesome.
Bit of a humble brag. Just before I forget, I did get to see the original painting.
That's cool.
Wow.
It was like 6 foot by like 5 foot or something like that. I mean, it's huge. And I remembered like getting really close to it, like, because the thing is, in Japan, it was at an exhibit in Japan, and generally they're like, if they put up a sign that says "Don't touch" and "Don't take photos," people will not touch and will not take photos, as opposed to here in America where you have to jab people with cattle prods.
Yes.
But yeah, I remembered I was like this close to it. I was like just trying to study the technique and see how he did it and stuff, and it was gorgeous. And I tried to, it said no photos, but I tried to sneak a little pic with my camera, and it was just like this is, you can't even see what it is. It's like, it's like not focused. And so c'est la vie. But anyway, yeah.
Nice.
You were gonna say?
I don't know. Was I saying something? I don't even remember.
I think I was saying something. Yeah.
No, you brought up Godzilla versus Biollante, which to this day is my favorite Godzilla film. I absolutely love it. I remember the first time I saw that was in a Blockbuster, and oh man, these guys are beating me back here. But I was walking down the aisle and I spotted it, and I'd never heard of it before, didn't know it had existed. And they used to have a catalog where you could order VHSs from. And immediately I wanted to rent the movie. We went and asked if we could order it. And my parents were used to me being a Godzilla freak, because I had been since I was about 3 years old. And when I say that, like, my parents have laminated, like, or at least they did for a long time. I don't know if it got lost in storage or whatever, but my kindergarten teacher laminated stories I would write about Godzilla during recess while other kids were playing. I would be off writing stories about Godzilla.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It was really neat. But regardless, they we went up to the counter. We asked if they could order Godzilla versus Biollante, and for whatever reason, this VHS was $65, which back then for my parents to pay $65 for a movie was like I was asking for a new car, essentially. But my birthday was coming up. I said, look, this is the only thing I want for my birthday. Like, I won't ask for another thing. And they got it for me. I still have the VHS to this day. It is one of my prized possessions. I absolutely adore that movie.
It's a good one. I'll carbon date myself. Remember that cat's phrase, Matthew?
Yes.
I am the same age as Godzilla 1998, for those of you that do not know.
Wow.
We both have our golden
47.
We both have our golden 25th this year, which is I don't like that very much. 5 years away from 30 sounds terrifying.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Blake Beesmans, I apologize if I butchered your name there, Blake, but he's joining us. Said he was introduced to Biollante through Godzilla Unleashed.
So nice.
Very cool.
That was my introduction to Varan. I remember the marketing for that game came out on the website, and they would just like reveal all the monsters in the game, kind of like Smash Brothers does. And oh man,
yeah,
makes me miss that.
That's it's so funny to think of that there's like a generation of people who were introduced to a lot of these monsters through the video games. I mean, starting, you know, like we were just talking about, you know, seeing the monsters in the game manual for this game, and then people who like played Godzilla Unleashed or Save the Earth or whatever. That's just so funny. Actually, this just reminded me. Have y'all seen these things that they popped up online? You can sort of see it, and since it's Varan, you can see the little.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, little acrylic. These little acrylic Godzillas, kaiju. Yeah, they're from Games Glorious, is a company. I think they're based in Japan, but the guy who runs it, I think, is Taiwanese, maybe. But yeah, it was super cool, and I bought so many of these little blind bags because I wanted the Baron, and I think I wound up getting almost all of them.
Hey, there's Dagora in the background, by the way. For those.
Oh yeah, there he is. They're
Yep.
just like, let's just clone this sprite over and over and make like an army of them.
Yep.
Sure.
And these, I think, are called Dagora cells, these enemies that I'm fighting. If I remember right. That's the the Moonlight SY3 just flew by in the background.
Oh, I missed it.
Did you happen to see Christian's pro tip, Matthew? From a little while ago?
He said if you jump, and yeah, I have done that. Occasionally I've gotten caught with it. I shared my tips for how to beat those fireball things. I call them the horseshoes of death, but they really are the biggest threat in the game, other than maybe King Ghidorah, and it's super annoying to beat. So I do one of two things: either if I'm close enough to the back of the screen, I will back all the way up into it, and that'll minimize the damage time it takes on me. Or I will use Godzilla's fire breath, and it makes it so Godzilla's animation will not stop his forward progress, so I can just kind of pass through it, which will sort of minimize it. I did get caught earlier tonight by one, and before I could do either, and it ended up leading to a death with Godzilla. So
I did forget that Ghidorah fought Godzilla and the Rulers of Earth. Oh, we should have brought that up. Matt's right here.
Oh yeah, I think it's the only time Godzilla has actually fought Ghidorah. Actually, I think there was maybe an old manga or something where he fights him. But yeah, we had fun with that. I think Space Amoeba kind of doesn't get a lot of appreciation. I think that
I love that movie.
Space
I think
Amoeba
it's great.
Rad. Yeah,
It is one of my favorites. I was so bummed out when Kameebus was reduced to a dead cameo in the Kaiju series. There, I was really disappointed. I wanted to see him in action.
I kind of regret not picking up the vinyl soundtrack they put out for Space Amoeba. I kind of let it sit at my local shop, and I was like, nobody's gonna buy this, and then it just went the next day.
Nice.
That's how. Yeah.
Christian, thank you so much for your contribution. We definitely appreciate you. We can't do this without the support of the community. So we're just he said just contributed. So thank you, buddy.
All right.
Hey.
Christian, thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your service, Christian. You are currently serving in the Marines, so I'll shield that a little bit.
Very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, awesome. Damn it! Come on. I'm definitely multitasking here because I'm trying to get another project done. Thankfully, I'm mostly done with my work on Space Godzilla, but I've got one other thing that I'm trying to get knocked out today so that I can move on to the next thing.
Brittany says that it was you, Matthew. You bought my Space Amoeba. You bought that.
We
vinyl.
love those Space Amoebas. We love those Space Amoebas. Oh man, guys, this is awesome. And Mr. Frank, please don't apologize for multitasking. We're just thrilled to have you here. This is what we wanted. We wanted to get the community together and just have a blast talking kaiju stuff, and just have some little
ton of fun.
Absolutely.
Have y'all listened to the podcast Godzilla Evangelists yet?
No.
I didn't know about it until they reached out, and I wound up being on their Final Wars episode. It's really enjoyable. They do a good job. They're very funny. I believe that they met at an improv group, so they actually like have some understanding of comedic timing. Like as opposed to me, where I was mostly screaming and about 50% of what I said was funny. But it was a really good. It's a pretty good podcast, so I recommend folks go check it out. It's as it is with a lot of podcasts, it's like the main guy, the central figure is kind of introducing his friends to the broader Godzilla canon, and it's really funny because one of the co-hosts who's doesn't know a lot about Godzilla, she had some really fun stuff to say where she's just like, "Oh, they're walking off into the ocean again." Like, yeah, they do that a lot.
That's a good trope. Don't you dare talk crap about it.
Well, you have to think about it from the perspective of somebody who's watching all of them for the first time, and they're just like, "Oh my god!"
I did that too. I did that to my friend group here in Utah. I started one of my friends with Son of Godzilla, and
oh my god, why would you
I love that movie.
I do too, but still.
Yes, I know.
He loved it. He was hooked. He is just as big of a fan as I am. So
you gambled. You gambled and you won.
He picked it. He picked. I laid them all out. I laid all the DVDs out. And I was like, okay, pick one. And he was like, Son of Godzilla.
All right, let's do
this.
this.
The Sony DVD cover.
Christian, you missed a golden opportunity to just say, I can't believe, or I totally forgot how small Uranus is. Like, you could have set it up perfectly.
Lord. Sure.
Russell says, "Hey guys, I interviewed Matt for Tomes of Evil a couple years ago. Great guy. Can't wait for Space Godzilla."
Oh heck yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Tomes of Evil, I remember that. That was a while ago.
You want to drop our link again, Ron?
Blake says, "Did y'all see Quasi's Godzilla animations?"
Oh, it's so good.
I might need to educate myself right now.
Have you guys not seen them?
Guys, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I want Mothra to level up some, so I'm gonna let time run out on this fight, and I'm gonna use.
Oh yeah, I've seen Gigant's big score.
Yeah,
Godzilla Jr. makes a burger. Amazing. Oh, that's riveting.
That one's really cute too. Anguirus's Day Off or whatever is a good one too.
Anguirus's Day Off.
That one's really fun. It's like Anguirus is desperately trying to just try to relax because he's getting it's just a crap kicked out of him.
I love it.
It's
I'm
really
gonna check
cute.
these out when I hop off.
Yeah, they're really cute. I think Quasi is going to be at G-Fest.
Great. I would like to talk to him with the site in mind. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I think the thing that they're known best for outside of just the animation is creating my favorite interpretation of Space Godzilla, which is number one bisexual uncle. Like it's really funny.
Oh no!
Because he's flirting with Titanosaurus, and then he gets a note. Somebody passes him. It's like that's a guy, and Titanosaurus, and then the Space Godzilla's like,
so
all right, let's do this.
And
it's really cute. It's very silly. He's chomping on cigars half the time, and he's like he loves cocktails. Oh,
sounds like a cool guy to hang out with, man. Cigars and cocktails.
Hey. I had to back off with Mothra. She was about to get wrecked by Mogira. I was running low on health. And Mogira, of course, regenerated all its health. And I regenerated like none of it. So that was
no
unfortunate.
disrespect intended, but that's kind of, it's embarrassing to get your ass kicked by the Mysterians era Mogera. Let's just be
he was. Well, I think it was a combination of him and Baragon that really did it to me. I was trying to 3v1 with Mothra for a bit there, and
Okay.
it just did not go well for me.
Matthew, you got beat by the 2 greatest kaiju of all time. It's okay.
Has anybody watched the original Mysterians in a while?
I adore the Mysterians. I love it.
It has been a bit.
I like it with a pretty big caveat, which is that you can probably fast forward through a good chunk of the finale and not miss a lot because it's mostly explosions.
That's fair.
That and Rodan's the same way, where it's like, oh boy, this
bombardment's
going on for a while.
Michael Bay's The Mysterians.
Yes.
Oh, I do want to rewatch Atragon sometime soon.
I do too.
That one's been on.
Me
I
too.
don't think I've seen Atragon.
We should. I probably couldn't get away with it, but I was gonna say it'd be fun to do like a watch party of that.
I've done a few of those. I've done like kind of some watch party stuff. When did I do those? I did like a watch party on Twitch for like Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla 98 and stuff, and we didn't get. I don't think we got flagged for it. I just don't remember. But that was a while ago, so I do not want to give you inaccurate information.
Hey, I completely understand, but
Fair enough.
if we're all sitting here saying, "Hey, let's watch the same thing," we should maybe give it a shot and see what happens. I'd be willing to test it up, even beforehand, just to see if it'll work. We could all get together, comment on the film. It'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. I do Matt's Monster Movie Mondays sometimes, where I get together with my publisher at Unlikely Heroes. It's if you want to watch an hour and a half of one dude mansplaining kaiju to 3 women who of varying levels of patience, it's pretty fun.
That's great.
No, they've all basically become fans now, which is pretty cool. Like, I think I've gotten at least one of them to cry over Mothra.
Nice.
And I think we all cry over Gamera. But they've been a lot of fun. We don't live stream the movies though. We just live stream our discussion about it.
Sure.
But they're fun. We try to do little skits. We try to everybody tries to dress up or do fun makeup. Like one of our co-hosts, Laurie, she did I remember she did a Howl from Beyond the Fog inspired, because we did that movie, and she did like this makeup and teeth and like sticks in her hair to make her kind of look like the monster from the movie. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
That's rad.
That is really cool. And just a quick plug for us. I see David and Martin have joined us. Thank you guys so much. So my name's Matt Boyce, and I'm here with my partner, Ron Mozicki, and we are doing this tonight in honor of our campaign launch for a new kaiju property called Sector-7. And that's going to star 7 original new giant monsters, and we've been dropping the link in the chat. We'll probably drop it here again in a minute because I didn't think to figure out how to pin the post, but we'll figure that out for next show.
We're professionals.
And we're being joined by Jacob from Kaiju United and Matt Frank, who needs no introduction.
Matt Frank from everything.
From literally just. He is Kaiju Comics in the he's
I try.
Absolutely. We appreciate you very much.
Sure. I was saying, I'm excited for the project. I'm excited for the comic. We need more voices in the kaiju community. trying new ideas, trying some new stuff out there.
I totally agree. I'm just happy there's stuff. There's something for everybody out there. Like, even if Sector-7, I hope it is. Even if Sector-7 isn't for you, then something else will be, because there's so much stuff that's kaiju coming out that's original.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. There are so many great projects out there right now, and we're not quitting. We're in this for the long haul. We believe in the project. We believe in the story, and we think that that you folks will really enjoy it as well. So that's why we're doing this. Is just I love the genre. So here we are, and
I love comics.
Oh yeah, and Ron loves comics. That's right. So
and Godzilla.
Yep. And I love comics, but I just love Godzilla more.
Yeah.
I know a lot more about kaiju than I know a lot about comics. I feel like I can call myself.
You probably know about comics like I know about kaiju.
Right.
Like enough to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we're basically just like reversed in our knowledge base.
Right. Exactly. There's Gotango in the background. I don't know if we've mentioned that. There's
way up there.
Right.
It's popping out of the rocks.
Yep. Popping out of the rocks.
That's kind of what made Matt, Ron, and I bond. Is I love comics and I love kaiju, so I can talk to both of them.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. We're all in the same niche, and I definitely.
What was your first comic? What was maybe not your first? What was the one where you said, "Okay, I'm a lifer. This is it."
Oh man, I gotta narrow it down. So the first comic I ever owned.
There's got to be one that you were like, okay, like it really hit you differently.
Steve Ditko's Doctor Strange run from the '60s.
Wow,
by far.
Okay.
Hey, that's
nothing wrong with Steve Ditko. That'll hit a lot of people.
That kind of made me serious about comics. I always read them for fun when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But when I picked up that run, I was like, okay, this is cool. I get it. Like my first comic I ever owned was a random issue of Fantastic Four that was packaged with the Marvel Legends figures back when they did that. I actually had that signed by Stan Lee, not because he worked on it or anything, but because it was my first comic book ever. It was just,
nice.
from a figure.
Like you've actually got like Stan Lee's actual signature on it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, he came to Salt Lake City Comic Con in 2013.
Salt Lake City. Yeah. Okay. You guys, that's kind of a big one, right?
Yeah. At our peak, we were third place behind New York and San Diego, but then some fun stuff happened, and I think attendance is a little down, but that's okay. But,
I was going to say, I got mine right here.
What is that?
I
see it's like a T-Rex. What is that?
It's Age of Reptiles: Tribal Warfare by Ricardo Delgado.
Interesting.
Wow.
This is the copy I've had since I was like in grade school, and I remembered it was a different kind of dinosaur comic. Different. I had never seen anything like this because as I was going through it, I saw this panel. If I can get it to line up. Damn it! Come on. Right. No. That. No. It's like I'm doing it wrong. There it is. It's the raptor slicing open the sauropod's neck.
Oh,
I can see
that's
it.
Awesome.
And I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't know dinosaurs could do that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I thought dinosaurs were nice to each other.
Yeah.
Well, my primary
Barney's not like that.
Well, I mean,
I remember
Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie might be like that.
I mean, yeah, well, I just remembered because at that point when I was younger, the most violent dinosaurs I'd been were like in Jurassic Park, and a lot of that was kind of cutaway. You know, it wasn't
it wasn't that
intense. So here this comic is, and that comic also heavily inspired like the way I draw monsters and dinosaurs and stuff. Because Delgado really pulls a lot of emotion out of the characters, and then it was and it's funny because later on, Mr. Delgado actually was, he designed the Godzilla that was supposed to be in like the American version of Godzilla before Devill and Emmerich did their version.
Was it like the '94 Godzilla? I think
that's the one.
Oh man,
pretty cool. But yeah, that one's a big one for me. I really got into manga when I was in like junior high, and that was the stuff that I think really wanted me to like tell stories in comics and be like eventually be a writer.
I was always more of a cinema guy. I've always kind of been into movies and whatnot. Comic books just helped me get into reading again, because after like AP and honors English and stuff in high school, it sucked all the fun out of reading for me. It was just horrible. And I like reading Jules Verne. I like reading the old stuff, but I don't know what changed about it with the schooling program. Maybe being forced to read it. I don't know.
Being forced, it really is. I think it's being forced. It's just it does. It sucks the life out of it, dude.
But
it's just like
comic
loving
books.
It's just like loving to cook, but then maybe being a cook and being forced to do it at Denny's, you're gonna hate cooking.
I feel like that's accurate. I feel like
it is actually. Also,
for
the record, you didn't have me as an AP English teacher, so that's the main reason.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I just started reading comic books, and I just saw the storytelling in comic books, and I just started reading comics to just keep reading, because I hate that people stop reading a lot when they get into adulthood. I hate that. Just find something you like reading and just keep reading, because it's good for you. If it's comic books, manga, novels.
I mean, it sucks because, not everyone even has like the time to read anymore. It's, think about like how hard it is just to take a little time for yourself these days, and Amplify needing to like sit down and get in that headspace.
Yeah, that's another great point.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree though. Like there are people who, I think it's a combination of factors, but I agree. Maybe that's another reason why we should have 4-day work weeks. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna stop there. It's like we can talk about it for 4 hours, but
dude, I'll do you better. 2-day work weeks. Everybody.
All right, yeah.
Ron's done in 2 days,
and everybody can work 2 days. Anyone can handle that shit, and everybody's got a job because the other person's only working 2 days.
Hey, that's an idea.
Just reverse it. Just reverse it. I'm telling you.
I thought this through.
I've got ideas for days how to fix the world. I've thought this through.
Awesome. No, I get it, man. I it's so funny because like I was on a Let's Play recently when we were over on Rage Select, and we were playing Evil West, that relatively recent game. It was really fun, but I remembered there was a character who was like kind of the boss. He was like the boss of these vampire hunters and stuff, and he was just a prick, just a huge jerk. And I said something kind of just off the cuff where I was like, if another adult spoke to me like that, I think I'd punch him in the mouth. And my co-host Jeff said, Matt, sometimes I forget that you have not had like an office job in a really long time, because you can't just haul off and smack somebody.
You can't just punch somebody. David
Harley, thanks for joining us. That's actually my daughter's name, so that's kind of cool. Don't see too many Harleys around.
David Scrivani made a remark during our Ricardo Delgado talk. It just was like, Delgado's so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I actually bought I bought an original off of him a while ago. It was a piece of concept art from Star Trek DS9, which is like just an amazing show. I bought it as a gift, but I got a hold of it and I was like, I kind of want this. But it's amazing. He does amazing work.
I gotta take off, buddy.
You do. All
Yeah,
right.
I gotta take off, guys.
So
I'm gonna go
Ron,
home, spend some time with the wife.
Oh yeah, happy
right.
life, happy life.
Yeah.
I was just
Guys,
thinking
thank
that.
Thank you so much for showing up, everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. Love you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we're gonna do it again. Let's do it again because this has become a lot of fun.
absolutely.
This started off very lonely,
Yeah.
and now I feel like a nice special boy.
Yeah,
So-
this is great.
You're a nice special boy, Ron.
Keep doing
Amazing.
great things, guys. Thank you so much.
That's one of the nice things about this game too, is like I figured it'd be a great introductory game because it would be long enough to where we could just sit around for an evening and really have a chat and have a blast with it, and yet it's still short enough to where it can be beaten in a single evening. So what a great opportunity. Thank you, Ron,
Yes, of course.
my partner in crime.
Talk to you, buddy.
Yep.
Awesome.
If you get the chance, drop the link in the chat a few more times while you're at home, just for our folks that may or may not join us. We appreciate you. Not that we want to just spam you guys, but so we are actually my son has taken Ron's chair.
Greetings.
And we now have 3 mats.
Oh my God,
Present.
that's too many mats.
There are way too many mats right now.
That's too many mats. Now we have to fight. Oh man, now we got to fight each other.
Thunderdome,
To
Thunderdome.
the death,
Thunderdome.
actually. There's a Thunderdome out back.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna get into the Thunderdome. All right, let's do this.
Can I rejoin the StreamYard as like a Matt?
Yes. Jacob, Matt.
I thought you were gonna be like, can I rejoin the StreamYard as Master Blaster or something?
Can't we just get beyond
Put
Thunderdome?
like a. I'll just join the. Yeah, I'll just join as like not Matt.
Oh,
Oh,
the one guy with good sense.
Definitely not Matt.
That's awesome. Damn it, come on. Yeah, I think I myself will probably have to bounce here in a minute because it's hard to unfortunately it's hard to podcast. I can only like live stream and podcast for so long while I'm working before my brain starts to slide out of my ear. So
I completely understand. And this one's gone quite some time. We do appreciate everyone coming out. I want to, of course, try and finish this epic for the folks who are going to hang with us. And I do anticipate being able to beat it. We're going to find out. It's been a while since I've tried to beat Ghidorah, so we'll see. But Matt,
going all the way?
Either way, we can't thank you enough for coming and joining us. We appreciate it, along with everyone in our audience as well.
yeah, heck yeah. Come on. Yeah. Like I said, I'll keep an eye open for whenever you guys share stuff. And I'll see if I can't join in next one of the other times y'all are streaming. Maybe the next time or time after that. I can't figure out what this level is supposed to represent.
I know.
Spooky
It's so
Graveyard
weird.
Godzilla.
But you know what? I want to see it.
Yeah, it's because it can't. Well, no, it wouldn't be Biolante because I feel like Biolante would have been in the game. It came out the same year.
Yeah, it did come out the same.
Maybe it's something obscure like Latitude Zero or something.
I don't see anything that's like Latitude Zero though.
I guess.
It would have like the weird griffin monster and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
And those heads, like, what are those heads?
They look
Maybe
like
they're-
cats. They look like cat heads. It's got like the whiskers and stuff.
I
Is
don't
that-
know. I'll have to.
Oh, that's
It's just a level.
I bet the Wikizilla folks probably have all that figured out. You know, they probably have a whole article on it.
It's
There's
just
like a random
based on.
tank.
Yeah, right. There's just a random tank there. It's like plant, statue, tank. Very bizarre.
I was gonna say it's like based on that Toho film House from '77.
Oh man, that movie is amazing.
Phenomenal. I love Obayashi.
All right, let's see here. Hold on. I got the Monster of Monsters Wikizilla up. Let's see if there's anything. No. What are those little ships? Oh, you guys have failed me.
Wikizilla, please.
Yeah, I guess I'm not seeing. I mean, they do list the various stage enemies. They do Dogora, the. Oh yeah, both versions of the Gotengo are in it. The version from Warring Space and the version from Atragon.
That's cool.
The Markalite Cannon, Mazer Cannon, the Nartal UFO. Those are the ones that are kind of triangular, I think. Those are the ones from Battle in Outer Space.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a rabbit hole I need to cover up and move away from. All right, I think I am going to probably go ahead and bounce, guys, but this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys giving me the invite.
Absolutely.
Thanks for jumping on.
Yes, thank you. Truly an honor to be on with you, and we hope to do it again sometime. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely look forward to do it again, and I'll like I said, I'll share out the link to the campaign in a couple other places, and y'all have fun.
Thank you, sir. You have a great night.
Thanks, Matt.
And, we'll see you soon.
Jacob, I'm going to see you at G-Fest, right?
Yes.
All righty. We'll see you kids there.
Let's meet up.
All right, sounds good. I'll try. I'm going to be doing commissions, I'm sure, and I'm just going to be like 4 a.m. I'm like, I've only got 7 more left. Story of my.
I'll just swing by the table, say hello. It's all good. That's the easiest thing.
I'll try to be around like the bar and stuff later in the evenings. Try to be social. I'm gonna try. I'm taking.
Oh, yes.
I am taking commissions this year. That thing there, that's Sayonara Jupiter. I bet you that thing above with the missiles.
Yeah,
I bet you that's that.
Yep.
So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I am going to be taking commissions technically starting on like Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to be, because that'll be 2 weeks out, and that'll give me just enough time to not maybe kill myself working on them at the show.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, man.
You have a great night.
Sweet. Right. I'm going to hop off in a little bit too, Matthew, but I'll stick around for just a minute.
Totally understand. This is a marathon of a game, not a sprint, but I appreciate you. I'm in this for the long haul. We're one planet away from the end, so right after this is Planet X. So the finish line is in sight. Let's put it that way.
This is Pluto?
Yeah. This is Pluto.
Okay, cool.
So
okay, cool. It's like finally.
Right? Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it as well. Just because this is a long game. I'm a little nervous about King Ghidorah. He can be incredibly cheap, but we'll see how we do. We'll see if I still got it.
How many times have you beaten this game?
I couldn't tell you. Probably at least. It's a long game, so it's probably not as many times as I remember beating it, because I just sometimes will pop it in and play it for a couple hours and then, dip before I get to the end. But I've probably beat it upwards of 20 times at least. Like,
dang.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Christian mentioned earlier it's his favorite Godzilla game. I think I really have to say that too. I love the Pipeworks games, of course. Love the PS4 one, even though it's a little bit repetitive. But or
well,
a lot of it repetitive?
The replayability it has is pretty fantastic.
I mean, yeah, unlocking some of the characters is a lot of fun for sure.
Like,
but it is kind of a, it's kind of
it's a process.
It is a process for sure.
It'll
But
take
I do
several
think this
playthroughs.
is my favorite Godzilla game. Just the atmosphere, the obscure kaiju, all that, the references. It's really made with a lot of love. I feel like.
It's and it I think it earns its cult following, and just a lot of people love it. There's and whether that's like your story growing up on it, or like Christian that just really likes retro games of yesteryear and just loves the game itself. Just there's different reasons people love it. And it's just really cool. It stood the test of time.
Absolutely, and still really playable. I remember. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd,
Love
but
it.
he kind of trashed the game. I remember being really like I don't know what I expected, I guess, but I was like, I think it was way too harsh on it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of BS about it, but for the era, I think this was about as cool as a Godzilla game was going to get. And I really wish they would have done the Rodan game that was advertised in Nintendo Power, but we never saw it.
Sick.
That would have been sick. I actually have a GIF or a JPEG of the ad from Nintendo Power. I'll have to post that to our Twitter at some point.
Can you send that to me?
Absolutely, I'll send that to you. It's just a cool relic from back in the day. But Nintendo Power had a couple. It was always cool to see Godzilla mentioned in it. Like it was like, oh man, this is awesome.
I mean, not to show the website here, but you used to write for Screonk. That might be a cool article talking about like the Rodan game that never happened.
Yeah, no, and absolutely, I would love to do something like that, and I'd have to see what information I can find on it because it is
exactly. That might be the only
outside
problem.
of that one thing. But yeah, yeah. For those who don't know, I didn't use my actual name back then. I don't know why. I felt using the pen name was cooler, I guess. And I wrote a few articles for Screonk.com way back when, and that was a lot of fun memories for me, of course. But yeah, I'd love to come and please plug your website while you're here for anyone that doesn't know.
Oh yeah, I should do that. You guys did. Matt Frank did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm humble. I am the editor-in-chief, everyman, basically everything but graphic design and logos and visual stuff I do for Kaiju United. So I'll host most of the interviews, approve submissions for the website. I built the website with my hands. Everything Kaiju United, I'm kind of the main guy. Of course, we have Rachel, who's the visual editor, and she does a really good job. She made our logos. But it's basically just a website giving back to the community so they can, write articles and have somewhere platform it. They can submit their artwork and we'll put it on the gallery. Just anything, man. I know we had some how to draw kaiju video tutorials. We're going to drop fan fiction on there in a little bit. Just anything that the community of monster movie fans and kaiju lovers enjoy doing that brings them together in this community. We're going to platform on the website.
Nice. I love it. Actually, for those who don't know, years ago, I started a website. It kind of died in infancy. I had some life happen and wasn't able to really see it through to the vision, but I recently reacquired the domain kaijutopia.com, and that's kind of what you described as kind of my original vision for that. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what the future for that will be and what that'll look like, because I've gotten to the point now where guys like yourself have kind of filled that niche for us, and I obviously don't want to crowd the market, and I also don't want to step on any of my friends' toes. So, but that's just really cool to see, like, something that I like what you described, just kind of coming together and being this hub for all things kaiju and community. So that's really neat.
Yeah, and of course we'll have news articles and reviews and all that traditional stuff, but I kind of like doing some other things. Like when I'm not busy with interviews and stuff, I want to write like the best fashion from the Showa era because I love the turtlenecks and the leather jackets that they have. Just fun stuff like that.
No, that's cool. I dig it for sure, especially because the Showa era is like still, I think, in terms of like just what, can I just pause for half a second and appreciate the music on Mechagodzilla here? It is incredible. As I just ended him, but regardless, I think the Showa era, in terms of just having the most solid, most entertaining films, is still my favorite overall, even though I love the Heisei era. Millennium, I love. It's not probably my favorite era. I think it could have been better in some ways, but that was also when I was getting to be of an age where I had more opinions and stuff too. So who knows?
I love the Showa era. It's timeless. It's classic. I love classic film, like I said earlier. But I was a kid when the Millennium series came out, so that was kind of my childhood. So I love it for that.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
Oh no, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna add on to the whole site thing and just really exemplify that, or just that's probably the worst word I could use. I just wanted to add on and be like, it's more about fostering positivity too. Like, look at how we just handled how we each like the movies. We didn't come at each other and be like, "Oh, you don't like Millennium, blah," It's
absolutely.
Like, I like this. That's cool. I like this. Oh, that's cool, man.
It's funny. And I was actually, what I was about to say was staying on the point. A lot of people, their favorite movie or their, a movie that's in their top 5 is, GMK, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, and that was the Kaneko Godzilla film, and it was funny because I love the movie. It's a Godzilla movie, of course I like it, but to me it was always like it's been lower on the list. I was not as thrilled with it as most were. So it's just interesting to always hear different opinions and just see things from a different perspective,
Mm-hmm. And we can celebrate all of them and still find diversity and opinions and all that fun stuff while just being respectful. Not everyone's going to like the same thing as you. So, like, I would rather hear why you enjoy something so it could maybe win me over. Like we said in our talk on our chat the other, like a week or 3 weeks ago. It was a while ago now.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love, like, I'll sometimes, like, and if I disagree with some, or if I'm like, oh man, that's like, sometimes I usually come at it from an angle of, oh, like, I totally get that, but hard disagree. Like, I here's how I feel about it, and it's just about having a conversation and building upon that in ways that are fun and respectful. There are no wrong opinions, unless, of course, you disagree with me. No, I'm just kidding. I saw your eyes get wide there for a second. Like, wait a second here. No, I'm.
I know you're joking.
But it's one of those things where when this community is in that zone, it can just be a lot of fun.
Holy cow! I agree. Well,
this looks like it's going to be about a 3-hour long video. It's been a slog, so I appreciate anyone who wants to actually see what happens. And if hopefully the folks that were with us that dropped off will rejoin the recording after the fact. Check out the end, see if I'm successful or not. Once again, if anyone's out there listening, I haven't checked to see if there's anyone in the it looks like Martin was the last one talking in the chat. Martin, we thank you for posting the wiki link there. But yeah, if anyone feels moved to go show Sector-7, our new Kaiju comic project, some support, myself and my partner Rob, who's left for the evening, are putting that together. And yeah, we really need the community support on that. Please go join the Kaiju United group, like and follow Jacob's pages, and show them some love too. Nice to see you, Blake. We appreciate you. And that, thanks for letting us know you're still here. Of course, we are down to me, Jacob, and my son Matt, who's sitting next to me. He's 16.
Yeah.
He actually just beat this recently.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I was stuck. Forget the scenario, but basically, I needed a game to play, and I decided, you know what, I'll give this game another shot, and I ran through it with fairly no issues, except for those, hazardous horseshoes or whatever my dad called them.
The horseshoes of death.
Yeah.
The flaming horseshoes of death. I don't know why they are so. It is like the one enemy in the game that will actually threaten me. Other than King Ghidorah can just be ridiculously cheap. If he pins you up against the back of the screen, which he will, that's the horseshoe of death.
Yes.
That it's really not a problem for Mothra, but for Godzilla, if he gets caught by it and you don't do one of the strategies to get around it, it could be an easy death for him. And earlier, that was the case for me. I got hit by one, wasn't able to get to a power-up in time, and I was getting bombarded with some artillery fire, and they actually took Godzilla out, but I was able to get him back by advancing Mothra to the next screen. So,
even though I think they're kind of cheap, I do like the fact that there's barely any of them in the early planets, and yet, like, as you continue, suddenly in just one level, you'll see like
two or three,
yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, nice pacing, I guess.
There's one again.
Good stuff.
It's
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop off, but
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be in the chat, just typing in the chat still. So
Hey, we appreciate you.
I was gonna switch roles.
Yes, sir. You have a great night, and
Yeah.
let's do this again sometime. Maybe with
Yeah.
not as long of a game, but we'll.
Send me an invite. I'd be happy to hop on like this. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen. Go follow Kaiju United, and show Jacob some love there. Have a great night, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, you too. Yeah, you can join the group. You can go to the website, kaijuunited.com. Any of that stuff is me. But yeah, take care, guys. Have fun. I will be typing in the chat, making sure you get to Ghidorah. But have a good night.
We're one planet away. Take care. Oh, what a night it's been so far.
You do realize that if you don't make it if you don't beat Ghidorah, and don't get past the final level, it means I'm officially better than you.
Oh yeah, you're gonna take Dad's video gaming crown, huh? For this one?
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, you can do that, but you got to beat Ninja Gaiden too. I mean, as in you also have to beat Ninja Gaiden.
Well, I mean, I did start playing Ginge Gingerton. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I bet.
I got to Act 3. It's all good.
It gets real fun at the end.
Yeah, I bet. I'm already dealing with, annoying knockback enemies. So, It's okay though. That game's music is good enough to. I'm okay dying.
That is one of the better soundtracks on the NES, that's for sure. Oh man, I want to thank everyone too. I feel like tonight's been just a wonderful time, wonderful success. Just did what we set out to do, which was get some eyes, together, have some fun playing a game. I know it's this is one of the biggest criticisms of this game is how repetitive it is, and it certainly is that, but still one of my favorites to look at. Just a beautiful NES game, beautiful sprite graphics, great sceneries, just excellent soundtrack. One of the coolest rosters in just obscure kaiju rosters in any Godzilla game. Just a wonderful, wonderful property. I was so glad to have the opportunity to be exposed to this as a kid. What was that one movie that said F you during the opening of it? For you, that was Alien 3. Well, like you mean in the sense of like you just felt like the movie betrayed you right off the bat kind of thing, or I'm curious. I need some elaboration there.
I think I know the context of this. I can name one immediately. Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie is just
the movie literally starts out with Johnny Cage like instantly dying.
Yes.
So
I forgot there's still one more planet.
Oh, come on.
We're not even to Planet X yet. Okay. All right, we're going to fly through this.
What planet is this then?
This is Neptune. Neptune's beyond Pluto, I think, for some reason.
No way.
Yeah, no, I'm with my son on this one. I actually, as a joke, denied the existence of Mortal Kombat Annihilation for Jacob, I was wrong. This is not Planet X. I forgot Neptune is actually beyond Pluto for some reason. And you actually have to run the gauntlet of monsters minus King Ghidorah one last time before you actually get to him. So we're almost there. We are almost there. It's going to take a little longer than I thought, but you know what? I ain't got nowhere to be. And even if it's just me sitting here talking to myself, I will see this thing through. We are gonna take down King Ghidorah and save the world tonight for all kaiju kind. But yeah, I agree with you. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I used to joke around that the movie didn't actually exist.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, you guys, and even that movie is like, it's not the fun, charming kind of bad. It's just bad.
I was berating my dad here because I wanted to watch it because the first Mortal Kombat movie, in my opinion, it's one of the better video game movies.
I agree.
In general,
I think it's one of the few early watchable video game movies.
Well, it just felt accurate. Like, it felt like they portrayed a lot of the characters well. It even had characters that, I mean, although technically they weren't in the first Mortal Kombat, such as Jax.
Or the best character of all time,
Art, yeah. Who did he get wrecked to again? Oh,
Goro.
Goro, yes. That's why Johnny Cage got so angry.
And it's like, oh no, this guy I just met died by a four-armed dude. Like, it was a very weird setup, but
oh look, this guy who's a fan of my martial art movies is just
yeah, it was like, listen, no one's going to confuse the first Mortal Kombat movie with Shakespeare by any means, but it was definitely entertaining. Had a killer soundtrack.
Reptiles theme
was incredible. just the techno, the martial arts, the choreography, everything was just amazing in that movie. So it's still very very near and dear to my heart, that one. But Annihilation just kind of ripped out my heart and stomped on it, for lack of a better term. So,
I'd agree. Yeah. I remember watching that movie, and the whole time I was just sitting there like, okay, it's gotta get better than this. And it just did not. It was just not good. Like, there's no other way to put it.
yeah, no, that's pretty accurate there. There's really no other way to put it. It was not good. And oh man, they didn't give me a stage before Mogira. That's weird. Normally when you initiate a battle like that, it gives you a stage to prepare for them. Still dealing with almost half health, so I got to be kind of aware of that as other monsters approach me. But
the only ones that you gotta really worry about, in my opinion, are like Baragon, Gigan, and Mechagodzilla. And yeah, coming from the guy who only beat this game like 2 weeks ago for the first time.
yeah,
But like, despite that, Varen is like one of the easiest fights in my opinion. Like, something about him, just like, I can just destroy him as Godzilla and Mothra fairly easily. Only monsters I think are like genuinely challenging, again, Gigan, Mechagodzilla, and well, obviously Ghidorah, but that's a given.
my son was spot on about what you're meaning. Yeah, I'm glad. He's pretty smart. I was a little confused, but he got you. He was reading you loud and clear on that. Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation was like that for me. Let's see, another movie that angered me right away. So it may not have been in the opening of it, although it was the first act, so I'm going to count it. And it's actually a kaiju movie. If anyone knows me well enough, they've heard me make this rant before. Godzilla 2014 committed the cardinal sin, in my opinion. They spent the first like 25 minutes of that film. I'm pretty sure he was in it for quite a bit in the beginning.
Killing off Cranston.
They killed off, Brody Ford, I believe was his name, or maybe it was Joe Ford. I forget if that was his or his son's name. But Bryan Cranston's character, killing him off was it was a blatant bait and switch because they promoted the movie like heavily featuring him. And then they never really replaced the emotional anchor that he provided in the rest of the movie. You had his son who was just kind of stoic and didn't really do a lot to carry the movie emotionally. And I thought it would have been almost perfect if they had just waited till the end of the film. Two things would have made that film a top 5 Godzilla movie for me. The first would be waiting till the end of the movie to really capitalize on the death of Bryan Cranston's character, make it an emotional sacrifice that he makes for his son. That would have been a much better way to go out. I know Ghidorah always gets me cornered. Does almost no damage to me at this point, though. So it's just basically waiting for him to get off me so I can do this. And so, just having an emotional tie to that movie was so important, and they just lost it with the death of Bryan Cranston's character. So that would be mine, where I was just really angry by the end of the first act. Like, I really wanted to see more of his character. Yes, everyone was. He is the one that knocks. I mean, come on now. Yes, we want to see that. Let them. When Serizawa was saying "let them fight," we all thought it meant Bryan Cranston got bigger, Jet Jaguar style.
No. See, when I think of anyone getting secured, all I can think of is Rita Repulsa going, "Make my monster grow."
Hey, I'm fine with Rita making Bryan Cranston grow. Rita Repulsa, yes. Make a giant Walter White to fight the Power Rangers. Okay, this whole cast just went in a weird direction, but hey, I'm good with it.
Well, I mean, my ultimate fantasy was a little kid, because I didn't grow up with Batman the Animated Series. I grew up with Ultraman, Godzilla, Power Rangers, and then TMNT. Oh,
Right.
and one Gamera film, and that would be Gamera vs. Square. So my ultimate fantasy growing up was Megazord. Oh, yeah, weird direction.
Only on this channel will you hear about Rita Repulsa making a giant Walter White to fight the Power Rangers. This is exclusive content right here. This is brought to you by the guys at Sector-7. And yeah, I'm sorry, son. What were you saying?
Oh no. No, like, so my ultimate fantasy growing up was like Godzilla and, like, I don't know, like Ghidorah or Gigan, your choice. Fighting Gamera and Gueron, fighting Megazord and Dragonzord, fighting Ultraman. And the Baltan, because Baltan is my favorite.
Yeah, so yes. Exactly. Sector-7, our comic. If I don't think there's anyone out there listening that hasn't seen it, but please, if you're able, go like our accounts on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, subscribe. All that stuff really helps us get over in the algorithms. We're just starting out. I'm a single dad. Like, I'm an educator. I do this life solo right now, and we're just trying to make a couple of dreams come true. I got my 16-year-old son sitting here next to me, and if anyone has the means, please toss a few bucks at us. Get yourself a comic book. We'd love to be able to entertain you and just share some cool kaiju stuff. With that said, yeah, I agree, Blake. The Batman the Animated Series was great. That was a favorite of mine growing up as a kid. Really was kind of like, for a lot of years, the definitive, in my mind, like, kind of Batman sort of vibe for me. Mark Hamill's Joker was the Joker to me. Even more so than Jack Nicholson, and just getting to experience that as a kid. I remember when it first came out, even like just super blown away by it. Really cool vibe that it had, and actually, one of my, she's kind of almost uber popular now, but Harley Quinn, I was an early adopter of her as one of my favorite characters, and that led to my daughter being named Harley. So I was doing it before it became kind of popular.
Hipster.
I am going to be a Harley Quinn hipster right now, okay? Because I was doing it before it was cool. My daughter's 12 years old at this point, so I bet you won't find many that were out there before Suicide Squad, or at least before the Arkham City games, the Arkham Asylum games. I mean, whatever, the Arkham series. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. It's almost 11 o'clock. We've been at this on nearly 3 hours. We got one more planet to go. Planet X, however, is pretty much a straight line. So that's one advantage of it. You basically just run the gauntlet of monsters one more time. It is kind of a slog at this point. But hey, we're here and we're having fun and we're just enjoying ourselves. So whatever, it's a Thursday night jam, as it were.
And to go back to the Batman the Animated Series, it's not that I had zero experience with any other cartoons and stuff like that. In fact, when I was at my grandmother's house as a kid, she had this VHS tape of Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
Yes, and now I have my DVD, so I'm going to rewatch it real soon.
Well, that was the film that coincided with the animated series.
Well, it's so good. I remember it being like, I remember the scene in it where, and spoilies, I guess. I remember the scene in it where suddenly the entire, like, I forget what the plot of it is, but essentially, I think it's like Wonder City or something, and suddenly, like, Joker blows everything up, and, like, suddenly a bunch of vocals start playing in the background. And that's how I also know about the Joker's iconic laugh from Mark Hamill. So
nice. Yep. Another one. Let's see, one of my other favorite cartoons from back in the day that kind of had the similar vibe was Darkwing Duck. Yeah, it kind of was Disney's Duck version of Batman. Just a lot of fun. And I shouldn't say similar vibe. It was obviously much lighter, but just a lot of fun. I loved Negaduck and his kind of reverse color scheme and stuff like that. Just a great show. Let's see. Blake says there was a Poison Ivy episode called House and Garden that made me think there should be a Poison Ivy horror movie. Yeah, I think I remember that one. It was kind of a dark one, if I remember right. My memory is a bit fuzzy. I've got to really revisit that series because I did love it. I end up getting caught. Usually, if I go back and revisit old cartoons, it ends up being TMNT. For what that's worth. But yeah, I really can't go wrong with 80s, 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fantastic series.
2003 is okay. I like 2003. I know you don't.
It's funny. I know a lot of people say it fits the comics better, but I'll be honest. I grew up with those with the cartoon and the movies. And even though that first movie is absolutely dark and gritty, I don't know. There's something about the 2003 series that didn't sit with me as well as the others. But it is getting a DVD release here pretty soon. That 2003 series. They just announced it a few weeks ago, actually.
Oh, I'm about to stimulate the heck out of the economy then.
Yeah, it's a expensive set, at least initially. I'm sure Amazon will have it at a discount. It's about I think $60, but just kind of a cool thing that's happening. That series finally getting a collection release, and it does come with Turtles Forever, which if anyone's never seen that was a cool little homage. My one real gripe about it is it makes the 80s Turtles look really stupid.
They're lighthearted. They're not.
No, it makes them look completely incompetent.
No, like I'm saying, like the 80s Turtles are lighthearted.
Correct.
That movie like portrays them as completely brainless.
Yeah, moronic, and I didn't like that, but I get that they were trying to contrast them against the 2003 Turtles, which were definitely a little edgier, a little cooler.
The same thing happened with 2012, though. Like, so there's like this timeline episode where suddenly the old Turtles like appeared in 2012's world, And the first episode they're like super freaking cool and strong and blowing crap up. But then the next episode, they're like weak and really stupid. I'm like, what?
Huh. I haven't seen that one, I don't think. I've seen a lot of the 2012 series. I really liked that one personally.
It's either my number one favorite or my second favorite to, well, 80s.
I love this Mecha Godzilla music. I mean, it is just incredible.
It's better.
It's a toss-up. Both of them are really good, though. I'm going to get him down really low, and then I think, well, actually, Godzilla and Mothra are both at the same level right now, so I guess I will just finish him off with Godzilla here.
Can you finish him off on it?
Yep. Blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake. Yeah, I don't think they did get the original ones. You could definitely tell, too. Like, what? Oops. There we go. I had to cancel that because I accidentally made a wrong move there.
I think you might be talking about
the 2012 one. Yeah, either way, they didn't have the original voice actors, which was, at least I don't think, because it definitely didn't sound.
Leonardo in Turtles Forever sounds like a lot like deeper. Like
it was deeper, and
right after one,
it's like,
shut up.
We turtles, blah blah blah, and it was like almost like I'm like, is William Shatner like doing an impression of like Leonardo here? What's happening? It just sounded very overacted. Not that there wasn't some of that in the original, but this was like so you could tell it was someone trying to sound like Leonardo. It wasn't very natural.
I mean, Donatello and Raphael seemed fine.
I'm trying to remember Donatello's voice in that one.
I can remember it fairly well because once again, I grew up with Ultraman, Godzilla, one Gamera film, TMNT and Power Rangers. So that film's kind of engraved in my memory. I wish I could say the opposite about TMNT. TMNT's movie, not that name is so stupid. I'm done.
The TMNT. Oh,
like the 3D animated movie.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it's an okay. I get why it was a title on some level, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
It just that movie wasn't what. I remember liking it as a kid, but after rewatching it as a recent, I just did not particularly enjoy it nearly as much as I thought I would.
It's a whole lot of okay. Like, it just is very mediocre. Nothing really special about it. All right, guys. After this stage, it is official. We are on Planet X. Finally on Planet X. I would bet money on it. I tended to forget about this planet, which is my bad, probably because it's out of order, because there's not supposed to be a planet beyond Pluto, and Pluto they don't even call a planet anymore. But this game's old. This was back when Pluto was still a planet. He didn't rip Pluto. TMNT was fine. Right, like, it was fine. It was a whole lot of fine. It didn't wow me. It was okay. The best part of that movie actually was Leonardo and Raph's fight.
Oh, yes. Well, even then, I think that the build-up to that fight needed to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, I'm not going to say it's a bad movie because I still enjoy it.
Yep.
It's
mediocre. I definitely think it's gonna. For those of you watching, I'm sorry if I'm being a Debbie Downer, but I do not have high hopes for this new Turtles film. mostly because Seth Rogen. Anything he touches, pretty much,
Okay.
I am guaranteed not to like.
Jeez.
But yeah, we're gonna. I didn't like him as Donkey Kong. I thought like it literally just sounded like Seth Rogen walked into a studio and started talking, and that's what they're like. Oh, perfect, that's Donkey Kong, and it's just like, come on, really? Like, I thought Jack Black in the Mario movie. We're talking about the Mario movie, by the way. I thought he did such a phenomenal job as Bowser, and even Chris Pratt. Did enough of put enough effort in the Mario where a lot of my I'm not going to sit here and say he was the perfect voice for Mario, but I think he definitely did his job and did it well. And then you just have Rogen that's like, I can't. Thank you for Seth Rogen's here in the studio with me. All he does is laugh, guys. He doesn't actually talk. He just does that.
Oh, geez.
Goofy laugh.
Ninja Turtles film looks good for the next generation of kids. I grew up with the sleep show. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually fine with that. I'm just hoping that it doesn't end up being like, for me personally, I'm really hoping it doesn't turn out to be just a whole like kids comedy movie. Get kids in the Turtles, but also like, I don't know. I don't want them to, not to say dumb it down, but
it's okay. You can say dumb it down. Oh yeah, you know what? I seem to remember that Tetsujin 28 / Gigantor film. Yeah, that's probably before your time, son. I don't think I've ever really shown you that.
The Gigantor is very it sounds familiar, but
yeah, very very much inspired the Iron Giant. Yeah, which right. Yeah, that would have been cool to see.
I want Iron Giant to fight Godzilla right now. No, right now.
No, I don't want Iron Giant. He can fight Mecha Godzilla. I don't want. They're both good guys. Like they're both the hero.
Okay,
characters.
fine. Well, yeah, but
Ready Player One, he did face Mecha Godzilla.
Not always a hero.
No, not always. But I also don't want Godzilla to lose necessarily. So.
Wait, actually.
And I don't want to see Iron Giant lose either. So.
I was taking a look on one of the Godzilla Rabbits earlier.
Oh, yeah?
There was a meme I enjoyed, and it's like Godzilla stomping through Japan, and it just shows like a happy Godzilla face. And then Godzilla when literally anyone else is stomping through Japan, and it's like him like glaring down.
That's awesome. I hate these walls. They're always like, gotcha. You can't like aggro them very easily. Yeah, that Astro Boy did not do too well. I remember that. Uh-oh.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, lost like half my health there. I got to be careful.
Be better. There you go.
I got a little bit of health back. Bring it, Gazora.
Okay, you know what? Video game series I really want to just come back like hardcore that was in its prime during the Super Nintendo era.
What's that?
Mega Man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still it's a series that still gets games every now and then, but like games are.
I think Mega Man 9 and 10 were supposed to be pretty great.
Well, 9 and 10 were great. I played through 11 on the Switch, but it's different. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but especially 11. I kind of wish Mega Man was getting pumped out like crazy.
You're right. Tetsujin 28 was the one. Inspired Johnny Sacco and his giant robot, which I love. Excuse me. yeah, really inspired that pet robot type idea. That's a great observation. Reminds me, I gotta get Johnny Sacco. There's a cool one on YouTube. You can watch the whole series. It's always translated a couple of different ways for me, but it usually comes up if I search Giant Armor Mikazuki, and it's kind of got that giant robot vibe. There's a kid in it who can kind of interact with the giant robot. The kaiju are really unique. The first episode, they fight a giant like watermelon monster. Like it starts off as a slice of watermelon into the sky and literally becomes this Biollante type creature. Really, really unique idea. The next one's like a door that's like kind of demonic looking, like really neat kaiju ideas, and just a lot of fun, that series. No, it kind of is inspired by some of that stuff. Not so much Super Sentai, but more of that. I feel like Johnny Sacco, space giants type vibe I get from it.
Also, if anyone watching, once again, since I mentioned Power Rangers and Super Sentai, if you ever have the chance, I recommend watching Super Sentai over Power Rangers, because Super Sentai, while if you don't like subs, it may not be your thing, because most of them are subs, from what I can tell. But it's overall, I think, way better than Power Rangers, and better pace.
Yeah, for sure. I think Super Sentai has a lot to enjoy. The Zoo Ranger, that would be the specific one. I really like it too, because you get to see a lot more of those scenes. Like, I just remember watching Power Rangers, and each episode was only a half an hour long, and they used a lot of the same footage over and over again. I always wanted to see more of the Dragon Zord. For those of you who have seen the Godzilla versus the Power Rangers comic, I own that. I legitimately, for those of you who weren't here earlier, I said I used to write kaiju stories in kindergarten, and Power Rangers came out when I was around. I was about in third grade, and but I had actually wrote a Godzilla crossover with the Power Rangers, and not only did Godzilla himself appear, but Rita, through some dark magic, had created a Godzilla Zord, and I just thought it was like this really fun idea to play with. And there was like this showdown, and the Dragon Zord was there, and it was just, and it, I was in third grade, so probably doesn't hold up as well now, but just kind of funny to think about, like, this concept, this crossover that eventually happened. Like, I came up, I'm sure I wasn't the only one. Who's Josh? Where's Josh? Jacob, saying hi to Josh.
Josh.
Let's see, we got some folks in a oh wait, do we have private chat here? Let's see. Oh yeah, it was all you guys in the private chat earlier, and that's funny. So I apologize that I totally didn't notice that.
Wait, now the chat is going.
Chat should still be there. Hang on.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Here, there we go. So hang on, let me
Reorganize
see.
them.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna go back to comments here. I think.
Whatever you do not end the stream.
No, I'm not going to end the stream. There we go. Now I can see comments again. Sorry about that. Josh, I can't see you talking if you are, but welcome. appreciate you being here. I love this music. This is the same title theme music. That's all right, Jacob. And that this music is one of my favorite pieces of music on the entire NES. Absolutely love this. I hate when you shoot something with Mothra and it's like like if you shoot a bullet with Mothra, it like knocks you down. That's probably my one gripe that I really dislike about the game is that aspect. But
Oh, jeez.
yeah, she almost got caught there a little bit, but that's okay. We're almost at max level with Godzilla and Mothra. We are on the last board, guys. We are almost to King Ghidorah. Thinking about doing a save state just before him, just to make sure.
Imagine gang all the way to King Ghidorah.
And then losing.
Yeah, the only reason why I used save states when I beat it the other day was because, well, one, I hadn't played this game since like I was like, well, I mean, probably like 10. Which I mean, honestly, that's probably not that long, but just playing it again was pretty nice. But again, safe states because I didn't know how to avoid the boomerang things, and then, well, Dad was like, "Hey, you know, if you use Godzilla's breath, you can avoid that, right?" And I was like, "Oh!" And when you know it,
yep.
Honestly, I'd love to just play a bunch of retro games, like live stream them.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely something I've been into for a while. I hate knocking those ones out. Oh man, there's so many enemies in this part here.
I hate these like space station or not space station. These civilization levels.
I think just atmosphere wise, they look incredible.
Gameplay wise, for Godzilla at least, I don't think they're that special.
Yeah, I mean, you're just constantly getting knocked into. That's really the issue.
4 UFOs at a time. You got that little Arkanoid in the background. I don't know what to call that.
Oh, that's Planet X.
No, not Planet X.
The blue thing flying up there. Yeah.
The whatever the heck.
Oh, this music is so epic. Almost makes me forget that I've been playing this over 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been grinding the crap out of Mario RPG, and, well, here we are. That'd actually be a pretty fun game to run through, is Mario RPG Remastered on live stream.
Yep.
Or, well, like, we could live stream it.
It would be like a 1,000,000-part series.
Well, yeah. Like, in several segments, obviously. Well, not several. Probably, like, a good dozen segments.
You can get away with, like, a 3 or 4 hour stream. Not quite one as long as that, though.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. I wish one of these guys would actually move.
Ghidorah is just like, here, let me flap my wings menacingly.
Basically. I really want Mothra to fight Baragon, though, because Godzilla, that's really the one monster I really would prefer. When I was a kid playing this game, I really preferred Mothra because she could fly. I could avoid damage a lot easier with her. Not realizing just how much more of a beast Godzilla is as far as like damage goes. So as I've gotten older, I prefer to do most of it. Most of my beatdowns with Godzilla, but of course I'll need both in order to beat King Ghidorah. I do anticipate Mothra biting the dust, but Hey, we're Godzilla fans. We're used to Mothra. It looks like the Death Star, doesn't it, Jacob? That's actually Planet X. So we were talking early on in the stream. It's been so long, I don't remember if you were actually here for that part. But whatever planet you're on, you actually see that planet in the background. So when you're on Earth, you see Earth and its moon in the background. And now that we're on Planet X, apparently in this game, Planet X is a Death Star. Just super cool. Yeah, absolutely. I think this game is just so full of flavor and lore. Like the way they incorporated all the Toho properties. This was like, a shared universe here before that was even a thing. And just incredible.
Yeah, now
yes.
You're just destroying everyone.
There's actually an unused flying Hedorah sprite. Yeah, I am destroying everyone now. But at the end in the end credits, the ending cinematic, there is a sprite of Hedorah flying that was not actually used in the game. So that's kind of a neat little Easter egg as well. Again, in this game, there exists code and sprites for Anguirus and Rodan. So they were intended to be playable characters in this game, but were cut probably just due to budget and time constraints. Oddly enough, Anguirus' sprite walks upright, which is something I really wouldn't see again until like the Trendmasters toy of him. Which, if you guys are familiar with that American line of Trendmasters Godzilla toys, some of my favorites of all time, they had Anguirus as an upright walking kaiju, and of course Pipeworks would later kind of incorporate elements of that into their game. Kind of just interesting how that all came about and that, but Godzilla's really tearing through people now with his fire breath. He's just like recharging super quick, can basically just keep spamming it, and we're going to tear through Varen in a hurry here. Boom. I'm going to move Mothra up in order to take out Baragon.
Yeah.
No. Yes, there we go. I hit the wrong button. Ooh. Mothra's at level 15, so almost at max level herself. She should be once we beat Baragon with her. And yeah, we'll be all set for some King Ghidorah action.
Yeah, after fighting.
Yeah, we still got Gigan and Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
It's funny that would have been a great idea, Blake, and not really something you saw a lot of though on the NES. Fighting games really weren't too prevalent on home consoles until like the 16-bit era. So like there were some versus modes, of course, in different genres, but like one of the only fighting games I really can think of in our more traditional sense, which almost would be, in my opinion, like what this would be like, was TMNT Tournament Fighters got an NES game. It's actually fairly rare. It came out late in the NES's life cycle. But yeah, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game is one of the few true fighting games I can think of on here. But it would have been cool to have like a versus mode on here. It seems perfectly suited for that. You've got the monsters, you've got the backgrounds. They all have varied attacks and things like that. It seems like it could have gone really interestingly.
Hey, want me to trigger some people?
Sure. What's your trigger?
Godzilla on the PS4 had a versus mode.
Oh.
However, guess what? The game wasn't local multiplayer, so...
Oh, yeah, that was one of my biggest gripes about that game. The game was clearly repetitive and not very intuitive. Like, just the way they design the game, it's fun. I enjoy it. I wish there was a little bit more depth and a little bit more other than the unlockables. There's really not a lot of reason to play it after you beat it. I mean,
yeah.
And unlock everything.
The only reason why I would continue to play it is because, like, I want to upgrade my favorite kaiju all the way to max level.
You know, we should stream that game. I bet you that would be interesting for a lot of folks, especially because the PS4 Godzilla game, we own a copy. We had it pretty much since release.
It's $100.
It's almost 200, I think, often anyway. Not always. Every once in a while, I see people snag a deal on it, but we do have that game. I think I paid like $30 for it back in the day, used at GameStop like a couple of weeks after it came out. Yeah, I unlocked every monster in that game. It was quite the slog, but we got through it. And I love that word slog today for some reason. It just feels so accurate when describing many Godzilla games. But
Hedorah the slog monster.
I do have many physical copies of the Godzilla games. I've always tried to keep up on them as best I could. We've got both the NES cartridges, the second one being the far more rare of the two. I think it usually hovers around $90 to $100 in value. I've had that since I was about 10 years old as well. We have the Game Boy game, which is almost like a Bubble Bobble type puzzle game.
I want Bubble Bobble. I want King Dragon, not Godzilla.
It was fun for what it was. It just wasn't what you were looking for. Neither was Godzilla 2, unfortunately. We talked about that a bunch tonight. But
yes, let's go from a semi-platformer action game to freaking RTS strategy RPG battles that aren't even fun. They're also luck-based, mind you.
Yep. No, I agree. You know, those kind of RNG battles in Godzilla 2 were not very fun. I totally agree. It was a really the music was boring and repetitive. The kaiju they were far more limited, if I remember correctly. Although Rodan did appear in it, so that was kind of cool.
The three-way mode was kind of
unfair because two players were getting.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about the PS4 game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. It was definitely not the most fair. Mothra's really good against Gigan too, because she can just pin him and kind of spam him, and unless he jumps, you really can't get out of it. See, like he did right there, and he doesn't hit you with his I-beam in that position either. So it really kind of just lets you waste them very quickly with Mothra.
Yeah, but PS4 Godzilla is, again, it's not a bad game. It's
no, it's just not a particularly great game.
I can see myself beating it and maybe fully upgrading a monster or two. Like, I don't know, Godzilla and Gigan, because Gigan's one of my favorite monsters ever. But I cannot see myself 100%ing, getting all the dioramas, getting all of the kaiju upgrades, especially when some of them are just plain evil, like to play as. Like, they just do not feel good.
No, I agree. Like, the game just took. It was very, very like you just had to really love playing that game, like, and I did, of course, but you know, it really just it was not. It didn't have the best replayability over time, and you know, it's unfortunate. Like, it really had some elements that I think you know could have made it a great game. As it stands, it's just kind of a cool rarity, cool collector's item for Kaiju fans. But other than that, it won't be considered a classic, I don't think. Although I can't say I dislike it. I really I had fun grinding out the other monsters in that game. It was great to see some of them on the screen, and just the graphics in that game were incredible. Just a lot of fun to get to play. Oh man, Mechagodzilla is wrecking me here.
Yeah, again, that game, like, if you're looking for a game that has like really cool unlockable characters and like an overall, like, yes, it is repetitive in how you unlock the monsters, but like the late game monsters such as Destroya or Burning Godzilla, if you're looking for a game that has really cool like end game unlockables, like that game is I'd say it's a go-to. Because, hey, if you don't want to keep playing it forever, you can always drop it, get it back up with fairly no problem. I only remember unlocking Destroya and Burning Godzilla because I think I had figured it out how to do it. However, I wanted you and I to do it together on your file, because that's the one we had been working on, was unlocking everything.
Right. So I'm gonna try and beat this on my first attempt. But since we are so invested in this, I am gonna save the state here. I'm gonna enter in first with Mothra, try to whittle him down, and then enter in Godzilla to finish him off. So let's see. We are at the final boss. We've made it. This is the moment of truth.
Yeah.
Does Matt still have it in him to take down King Ghidorah in Godzilla on NES? We're going to find out here momentarily. I feel super hyped for this, actually. I just got to try and avoid taking too much damage going into this fight.
Same with Godzilla, though. Like, take too much damage with Godzilla as well, and, well, safe state.
Yep, almost there, Jacob. That's right. It'll be about a 3.5 hour show. And, who knows? Maybe we'll break this up some for replayability down the road. I mean, it's been just awesome.
Geez.
Yep, he's going to pin me right away.
Come on. You got to go for the heads. The wing doesn't really...
I'm trying to get close enough to use my wings on him, my powder, my scales, whatever you want to call them, on him, and whittle down the health of his, but...
I mean, you're not doing too bad.
No, not too bad. I've got to get out of this corner, though. And that's the problem with King Ghidorah. He can just wail on you. Unlike Ghidorah, he will sit there and just continue to pound you a bit.
Yeah, Ghidorah, like, is polite. He's like, okay, you've had enough.
Okay, not a bad first round. Oh, he's automatically going to re-up. He wants another piece of Mothra here. I don't blame him.
Actually better than how it went for me and Godzilla.
Yep. And actually, this worked out to my advantage because it refilled my power. And I hope he kind of backs off, but I also want him to stay close enough where I can continue to hit him with that power here, because that's going to do the most damage, really kind of whittle him down. I'm hoping he's going to let me go here soon. I'm not only am I out of power, but I also want to bring in Godzilla and start to wail on him with the other monster. We actually did pretty good here with just Mothra alone. That's a really impressive first run. I think we got this.
This is it.
And we're gonna move in with Godzilla. I just got to get past these.
Be able to just straight up
win without losing either one.
Yeah,
I think you might be right.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yes, the Ghidorah's roar in this is not pleasant, Blake. You are absolutely right. Although still closer to the original roar than Godzilla King of the Monsters was in 2019. I'm just going to say. My son and I argue about this. I really need Ghidorah's cackle, and I was mad that his trill, whatever you want to call it. I was kind of upset that it didn't happen in
it would have been cool. I think it would have been nice if it was like suddenly like Godzilla.
No. Oh, that was a bad. I hit start, but must have been a frame too late. It's all right. I got time to hit that. We'll get a couple power-ups here. We'll be all right. I think we did enough damage to Ghidorah that he's on the ropes.
No, I'm just going to say it. It's weird how we went from, like, just from when I've been a part of this, we went from talking about my ultimate fantasy, like, of kaiju battles, to Mortal Kombat Annihilation, to TMNT, to just about everything.
Yep.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got this. We got this. He's not even going to take out one of my monsters tonight. He's not even going to get one.
You got it.
We got it. We did it.
Woo! Now for the final stage.
Right. Now we just got to go through this space station. I don't know why it feels kind of anticlimactic, but I guess they got to have you beat one more stage just for good measure. We beat King Ghidorah. We're going to be able to see the ending tonight. What a fun ride this was. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. It'll be just about 3.5 hours. So
about this being like, oh, you got to do the final level. So in the words of Ego Raptor, they would not sacrifice their precious formula for a little bit of fun.
No, I know. It feels like the Ghidorah part was definitely the climax, but they want us. I know. I thought, Ghidorah is the end. We just got to beat this last level
as both characters.
We have to get off the planet X, so they have to make their way back to Earth or Earth's moon. Oddly enough, is where we will see them in the end credits. Oh man.
This is it.
That was Godzilla. We're going to send him on his way. Will you occupy the enemy headquarters? Yes, we will. And time for Mothra. Mothra took a beating from Ghidorah, but fought valiantly. I mean, really, really did well against him. I'm impressed. Usually I end up losing, or at least in the most times I remember beating him, I do remember usually losing one monster. Did not do either tonight. That's I haven't beaten this game in probably, I would say 8 or 9 years at least. Yeah, it's been a while. So I would say that's a win. Dad still has his crown.
Dang it. It's okay.
One day, young Padawan, you will surpass me, but today is not that day.
I do not want. Is that? Hang on. Let me just say this. Is that from the prequels?
Padawan is from the prequels, which I don't like using that term anyway. Oh, hang on. I want everyone to be able to hear this.
Yes.
This music is pretty epic, and here we go. We just beat Godzilla on the NES in almost exactly 3.5 hours. Here we go. Gorgeous graphics there. I love this music. I love this epilogue too. What an ending for an NES game. Almost none of them got this sort of treatment. Listen, and on the devastated planet X, a message is left for Earthlings. To our deepest regret, we must admit defeat. This time, we almost won, but we did not know Godzilla was such a powerful foe. Gone is our legion of monsters, the strongest force in the universe. Never again shall we see Ghidorah or Gigan. Having lost our base, we now embark on a journey to nowhere in the universe. But Earthlings, save your rejoicing over the victory which Godzilla brought to you. Our journey will not last forever. We, the people of Planet X, will never give up our plan to invade the Earth. This is better than like a lot of like stories nowadays. This is just great epilogue that they put in here. We promise that we'll organize a second, even a third legion of space monsters and shall destroy you in the future. We shall not fail. This is our challenge to you. The last days of the Earth are coming soon. Earthlings, prepare to die. What an epic way to end this game. So much better than like, congratulations, you did it. Like on a lot of, not that, not commenting on what Blake said there, but in terms of NES games, that was often all you got as an ending. And this was so much more, so much richer of an experience. And now it's going to show the cast, obviously, of Kaiju.
Yay, the monster that almost no one knew about when this game was released.
Mogera, Baragon, of course, one of my favorites. Varan is one of my favorite underrated Kaiju. Really wanted to see him in the original idea for GMK.
Earthlings prepare to die, Jacob says.
Yep.
Mechagodzilla.
Spelled Ghidorah wrong, but whatever. We'll forgive you.
Okay. Want the true ending? Play the game on hard mode.
Nope. Wow. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Blake, for sticking with us to the end. I just want to thank, of course, my partner, Ron, for joining me tonight. First and foremost, we want to thank Jacob and Matt Frank for both joining us on the live stream as our special guests. Just a supreme honor. And yeah, thanks for coming and watching this, guys. It was a ton of fun. And yeah, we're going to end the broadcast on this note. What a glorious screen to see here. And please, if you feel led to, please visit our campaign on Fund My Comic. Check out some of Ron's art. It is amazing. Share, like our accounts. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all with the little @ symbol inside Sector-7. Just please help us get out there so we can share this. Yep, we are on Reddit. It's like /username inside Sector-7, Sector-7 or something like that. We're sharing some stuff on there. Want to thank my son for sticking with me the second half of this.
Anything?
You kept it entertaining. We had a lot of good conversations. So have a great night, everyone. Join us again soon. We'll be back.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.